my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak my mind. Oh. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're chilling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, 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 oh,
I just realized that could be like super startling to somebody, so sorry if it startled anybody. But hello, welcome back to another Domm Dynamite stream. I know I said I was gonna continue this last week, but last week I ran into some issues, so I didn't get a chance to stream. But here we are, the following Tuesday. I am here and back. I had to grab a snack though, so bear with me. Sorry. Should have ate before the stream. I know. But hey, apples and peanut butter, dude. Not a bad time for that. All right, let me grab a napkin. Okay, so let's do a little recap after I swallow. So we are on the Magical Turnabout, which is the second case in the Spirit of Justice game. We are on the trial, which is the second part, and we are on the second part of that part. So we are going to be finishing this case today, is what that means. We were in the middle of the trial part, and I believe we left, when we were going to bring either Trucy to the stand or another witness, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's look at the evidence and stuff, and we'll start to bring out the story from that. How's that sound? All right, here's the evidence. Obviously, attorney's badge is always there. That's our attorney's badge. All right, we got the stage diagram. So, okay, you know what? Let me give like a brief overview of what happened. I do remember the case. So, basically, it's all started when Apollo and Athena went to a magic show that Trucy was putting on. So Trucy had this magic show that she was putting on for like TV and stuff, and so they had this like advanced screening or whatever performance, and so Apollo and Athena were there, and during the performance, long story short, someone dies. So during the performance, it looks like Trucy kills him because the guy is in a coffin, and which is supposed to be like a box. You know, it's the classic magician's trick where they stab into the box, but the person's okay inside or whatever. Well, the guy was not okay, and they didn't even know he was inside there because Trucy was the one that was just in the box, and then bam, bam, she's also outside of the box or whatever, and then she stabs into the box, but then the box opens and there's a dead guy. So that is like the case at its simplest. So some of the things that we learned about the trick and the moment. In fact, you know what? Let's watch the moment. We have a video of the moment. Let's see it. I mean, the cameraman, he went a little bit Trucy crazy. And wouldn't look away from her for some reason. I think it's this one. Show footage, yeah. But it does show you basically what happened. So that's, this girl here is actually, she has a twin we found out last week. And so that's one of the twins there acting like the bunny girl, and she's like sort of the antagonist of like the show. And so she's the one that puts Trucy in the box and then like charms her mannequin guy.
Tom to Jappy.
Hey, what's up, Togepi? And then supposed to get him to stab into it, but then bam, it's Trucy. Oh no. Here's the moment. Trucy's going to stab the coffin, and the cameraman just zooms in and he's like, oh my god, Trucy's so hot. Can't not look at just Trucy. Hey, Sheepy, what's up?
Welcome in Sheepy Boy.
Boy. How you doing, Sheepy? Thanks for coming over, guys. Yeah, and then the dragon fell down. I forgot there's this giant, like, cardboard dragon thing that fell after the whole thing happened. Because everybody, you know, thought it was a part of the show at first until they realized it wasn't. I expect you getting back this game so soon. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to get back to it again last week, but, yeah, just some shit got in the way, you know what I mean? Life and stuff. I've been working on this website a lot, too. That's what I did most of this morning. If anybody is into GTA RP, it's for that. For watching roleplay streams on Twitch, because Twitch does not let you search very well. So, and I like watching roleplay streams on GTA 5 roleplay. And it's hard sometimes to find people who are in the same server. So I'm making a website that will allow you to search by the server, and so far it's working pretty well. So that's what I've been working on, you know, in the meantime, and a couple other things. But yeah, Tommy, happy Tuesday, Stella. How are you? Welcome in. You're just going over the recap. We just saw the footage of Trucy apparently killing the victim, which we know he did. She didn't do that. Making a website. Yeah. You can actually, you guys can go to it now if you want. It's not like, I haven't like launched it yet, so I've only really been telling my friends about it. But it's GTA Roleplay.live. It should be live. You should be able to go to it. I am hosting it, so it's essentially launched in that way, I guess. But yeah, it shows you everybody who's on the Onyx server right now. I'm going to try to add other servers too, because there's like several pretty popular servers for GTA roleplay streamers. I don't know if you guys watch it, but it's like people playing GTA but in character, and they play as like random people. It's more nuanced than that, but that's essentially what's going on. It's pretty fun. I spoke to you in way too long, hoping you are well. Yeah, I hope you're well too. Payna was giving me a little bit of a rundown of some updates that you gave him, and it sounds like you got some cool stuff going on, Stella, so I'm glad to hear that. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. Glad to be here hanging out with you guys. I've seen it there. Well, yeah. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about, Sheepy. Yeah, so I'm trying to make that easier for people, at least in like the communities, because I think the viewers could really benefit from knowing when other people because like I like to watch like one person, and then when they interact with somebody else, I'm like, oh, I want to see if they stream too, you know. So I'm trying to make it easier for people to do that, because if I like to do that, other people probably do. Is website the project you've been working on? Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah, but one of the earlier ones, I still need to get back to it. It's just like there's some animation stuff I started, but I think I just got overwhelmed because I get like really excited and I want to do like the world, and I'm only one guy, so I need to come back to it though. I got quite a bit of it done, and I've learned so much in animation that I want to keep going with it. But the whole GTA RP thing has kind of gotten in the way. I quit my job. Yeah, that's what he said. He said that you like started your own thing or whatever, which sounds pretty cool. There's a question about are Ace Attorney streams going to be on Tuesdays instead of Wednesdays? They're going to be whenever I can get myself to do it. That's what I can say. I'm sorry I don't have like a set. I don't follow my schedule if I even have one set anymore. Sorry about that, but you know, I'm just going through a new phase in my life, so I just appreciate that you guys come hang out when I do stream. So thanks. But yeah, I can't promise. I'm not gonna promise you that it took me. Long story short, basically. But I probably will try. I'm so used to doing it on a schedule that I usually do kind of like tell myself like, well, if you're gonna do it, dude, you should make it Tuesday because you did it Tuesday last time. So I might, but I just don't want to promise you if I come out on like a Friday and play it. Who knows? Maybe if I play it 2 times in a week, I don't know. Because this game's got a lot to go through, and I've been going through it so slowly that I'm like forgetting stuff. You know, I'm sure there's plenty like from 2 weeks ago that I'm gonna forget. You know. I'm starting to remember, you know, as we go through the evidence, which is always why I like to recap. I do it more for me. So you look great, Mr. Slim. Thank you. I have been losing some weight. I've been trying. I've been exercising more, so I'm glad it's noticeable. Thank you. Been trying to get on that exercise bike, that cardio. Am I right? That's the hardest thing. But you know, one thing too, I don't know why this made me think of that. It's just like a health thing, I guess. Have you guys ever tried royal jelly? I just tried that recently because I watched a YouTube video about it, and I just thought it was kind of interesting to try something that only queen bees eat, but apparently it's got like a lot of health benefits. I don't know that I'll keep like trying it or whatever, but it just made me think of it because the health benefits. Like it helps you apparently lower your LDL levels and helps you improve your insulin tolerance. So basically helps, you know, not be diabetic essentially. For sure. And yes, the queen's honey. Yeah, it's not even essentially honey. It's like, that's what they call it, jelly, right? Because it's like, it's gross. Like, it's crazy like how not delicious it is. I was expecting like, oh man, this looks so good. And people were like describing it as like, oh yeah, it tastes like condensed milk or something. It's like, it definitely looks like condensed milk. But then I tried it and I was like, whoa. It tastes like honey for like a millisecond. And then it tastes like medicine. It's like, god damn, the queen bee, she gets it pretty rough if this all she gets to eat. But yeah, the health benefits are pretty crazy. I mean, it makes the queen bee grow to like fucking what, 4 times bigger than the other bees, dude. There's a lot of nutrients in that stuff. Never tried it, yeah, but I guess it's good for you. Yeah, apparently it's good for you. So I don't know. I've thought about like trying to keep up with it because the studies I read about it said it took like 6 months to really like get to that level, and they did say that it really helped with LDL levels, which is tempting because that's what my doctor said. It's starting to get higher for me, so I need to make sure I watch that cholesterol. You know what I'm saying? So I might buy another little vial of it. It's just super expensive because it was like 4 ounces for $50. So yeah, it's pretty expensive. Maybe I can find it cheaper some places, but I've also read that when it's cheaper, it's probably been frozen multiple times, and that apparently, you know, takes away some of the health benefits or whatever. Anyways, I was just curious since I missed some AA streams. Oh yeah, I do. I think I've captured all of them on YouTube. I do need to put out last week's still, but I think they're all up. So if you have missed some, hopefully if you follow me on, if you're subscribing on YouTube, you should be able to get them there. I may have missed one in there because sometimes there's this weird thing that Twitch does. I don't know if you guys ever streamed and try to push to YouTube, but it'll like push the same stream twice, and so sometimes I like every time I have to go in there and like clean it out and delete like the extras, and sometimes I worry I accidentally delete one that wasn't actually an extra. So if I ever do, let me know. I'm just interested. There's nothing I can do about it. But I'll just be interested to see which ones I missed, because I try really hard to label them all and make sure they're all in order or whatever. But yeah, hopefully you'll be able to see them on the YouTube, basically, is what all that meant. Oh, and if you guys haven't checked it out, sorry, I feel like I'm waffling here, but I have made some YouTube videos recently on my just Domm Dynamite channel, because I have Domm Dynamite Live, and then I have just Domm Dynamite that I put my edited stuff on, and I did a couple of GTA RP videos. If you guys want to check it out, you can see my RP character and see how what I've been up to in there. I got another one of those I gotta put out. In 6 months, you become a queen bee. Yeah, wouldn't that be funny, dude? What the fuck would that even mean for a human? Dang, how much do you take? Oh yeah, it's a quarter of a teaspoon. They say to say twice a day, but I just take it once a day, and I just take a little bit more than that. But it's like recommended to do like once in the morning, once at night. But that's not what the study did. I can't remember what the study did. That's just what's recommended on the vial itself. You know, I'm gonna need to look at that study, because that's also obviously what I should be following, is what the study did, because the study is the one that got the results. So yeah, I should have done that, because I actually read like a scientific study or whatever, a peer-reviewed article about it, because I was a little skeptical. It sounded a little homeopathic or whatever. Go able to check it out. Yeah, should check it out. I got it on Amazon too. The one I got was on Amazon. Yeah, I had watched a Business Insider video about it, which was pretty interesting. They were talking about how expensive it is, and they were like explaining why it was so expensive. You know, let me eat another apple slice here, guys. This is my dinner for tonight. Apple for peanut butter. All right, let's see. Looking at the evidence, so sorry, just put an apple in my mouth and then I went to talk like a fool. Which Twitch would inform you of any missed streams with a new video under the channel name in the follow section. Oh, did they used to do that? Why would they take something like that away? That's ridiculous, dude. If that existed, why take that away? But yeah, hopefully my YouTube channel will keep you caught up, though. All right, let me see here. So, what do we have in here? So we went over that. Trucy was accused of killing the victim. I didn't talk about who the victim was. Let's go over the profiles. So there's the lovely Trucy Wright. A particular set of circumstances led her being adopted by Mr. Wright, a world-class magician on the rise. Yeah, she's a really good magician. Athena, you know, she's my sidekick here. Phoenix isn't even here. Here's Bonnie DeFame, and she's a magician who performed teleportation magic during the show. And we learned last time that Bonnie, how she does her teleportation magic is that she actually has a twin, and she's like bat themed. But her bat twin will like dress like a bunny for her, and that's how they teleport. It's actually two different girls. And the bat girl seemed to not like Trucy, but the bunny girl does like Trucy, and we interrogated her last week. I don't remember the finer details. I mean, not last week, 2 weeks ago. So I don't remember the finer details, but I'm sure the important ones will come out. Roger Reetons, I don't know if that's how you say it, but he's the producer at Take-Two TV, known as the Rating Raja. He's famous, apparently. He's the one that actually like produced Trucy's show. He owns the whole thing. He like put forth all the money or whatever for it, and he's been doing these really shitty tactics where he's like been carbon copying Trucy's signature on one thing to like 3 different contracts or whatever, making her sign shit she didn't know she was signing. So we have to like basically take him down for that, and I think he's probably going to be ultimately the bad guy, maybe even in cahoots with the Bat Girl. Is she in here now? Yeah, here she is. Betty DeFame. She's the Bat one. A magician who performed with Trucy. She is actually Bonnie's twin sister. And then we have the great Mr. Rios. He's the victim in this case. His real name is Man of Mystery, which I think is so funny, dude. What a silly name to give him. Phoenix is with us in spirit. Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's called us back yet, but he is with us in spirit. Because I want to say Apollo was calling him. Maybe he did answer before the trial started. I don't remember. Like I said, that was like 2 weeks ago. All right, so yeah. So, and Mr. Rios was like a magician who was with the Gramarye troupe, which is the troupe that Trucy's from. That's where her like dad came from and where she got all of her magic from. And he left because he was like injured during a performance or something like that. And then he's now come back to do the magic with Trucy, I guess. And there was some evidence that suggested that he was trying to get all of these tricks of the magic or whatever, and the rights to it, and get them from Trucy instead of Trucy getting all the tricks or something like that. And I think that was because it was found that he had the Gramarye notebook in his belongings, and it should have been in Trucy's or whatever, just as Trucy's book. Troop Gramarye Creed: a true entertainer always keeps a smile on their face, is written inside. I'm sure that will matter. So I'll give you kind of gives the whole overview. Let's look at the rest of the evidence here. Stage diagram: a diagram depicting the stage where the show was performed and the understage passage. Let's take a look. So this is the coffin that the body was found in, that Trucy was trapped in the show, and then she went down the ladder, and she went over and popped up from like a platform thing and into like a puff of smoke, and that's how she appeared. But somehow, after she left that coffin, Mr. Rios' body somehow was in there. Placed in there or got in there or something. And then when she went to go stab into it with a rubber sword, I will say, he died. But the rubber sword was not at the scene, so people think she actually used the metal sword because they couldn't find the metal sword. Or they couldn't find the rubber sword, they only found the metal sword there. We got this 13-year-old poster. Mr. Rios was apparently ousted from Group Grammary 13 years ago due to an injury he sustained. So he was ousted. Okay, I guess I forgot that detail. That's important. Look at that. Canceled. He did something problematic and the internet canceled him. It doesn't matter how often or how infrequent you stream, just happy to be here. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. With y'all enjoying video games and each other's company, Domm, even though we don't talk as often, you remain friend and a good human. Muchness done. Is that mushiness done? My bad. Thank you, so I appreciate that. I miss your nice mushy messages. So I really do appreciate that. I miss being here as often as I used to be. There is a nostalgia to thinking about it for sure. So that's what keeps me coming back. Ultimately, is you guys and want to be here and hanging out. He made a bad tweet and everyone didn't like that. Yeah, that's exactly what he did, Mr. Rios. And see, this was his comeback tour now with Trucy, and didn't end so well, did it? Now he's dead. Bonnie's script. Let's read the detail first. The fire trick was canceled due to the incident. So we have Magic Show script, 9:30 a.m. So first, Mr. Rios transforms into a dragon. Trucy's hat trick. Then at 10:20 a.m. I wish I had the video for that. That was pretty cool. 10:20 a.m. the second trick, Bonnie's teleportation trick, and Trucy's escape trick, which is when the murder happened, or supposedly happened, allegedly. Then the third trick was supposed to be at 11 a.m. Mr. Rios' fire trick, and then Bonnie had written in here, "This will be dangerous. Maybe make sure the fire bucket is ready." Which we can go ahead and plug that in with this. This is the fire bucket. And it's a bucket to be used in case of fire. Not only was it empty, but dust lines the inside of the pail. That's pretty important because that indicated that the girls did not prepare for the fire trick, sort of indicating that they knew they were never going to get to the fire trick, right? So they knew that this is going to happen, right? They were in cahoots. Which I believe they were. We did, now it's coming back to me a little bit, I think during the cross-examination of Bonnie and Betty, we did find that there was somebody that was like coercing them somehow or something, because they like wouldn't admit something, and then Athena had to bring it out of them. Like, I can't remember exactly the detail. We might have to look back at that, but I'm sure it'll come up. Let's see. It's a crime photo. There are traces of blood in one of the coffin's holes. It's possible the blood was placed there after the fact.
Never blaming.
Hey, thanks for the lurk, Never.
Welcome.
Hola, gonna lurk. Sounds good, man. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate you being here. Fire bucket, everyone knows an ABC extinguisher is the way to go. Yeah, it's so funny it's a fire bucket, isn't it? That's like my initial thought. I don't think I said anything, but definitely the first time I saw that, I was like, man, is that gonna do anything, dude? Was this like a little baby fire that we're gonna put out? Like, it's a candle. Okay. A fire bucket will do it then. I guess we don't need an extinguisher for that. But he's supposed to be like breathing fire, dude. I think we need more than a bucket. But yeah, there's his dead body. Poor guy. You can see he had a harness on there. I don't know if I can reach that far. Oh, no, cuts off. He had a harness on. He's got the little hook thingy. I don't know what to call that. What is that called? He's got the stab in the back, which is a pretty big deal because Trucy didn't stab into the back of the coffin. She stabbed into the side of the coffin. So they're trying to say that he like contorted himself to try to dodge it, but still got stabbed. But it looks like the sword just went straight in him, to this guy. Any other details? He was facing the audience when he fell out and he fell forward. I think that's the only big details that we've gone through pretty much. His hat fell off. Let's see, we got fingerprint results. In addition to prints from the victim and Bonnie, Betty DeFame's fingerprints were found on the top. Yes, that's right. On the top of the coffin, we found some fingerprints. Turns out those are Betty's. That is something we figured out. last time as well. Prints on the coffin lid, Bonnie. Prints on the side panel, Mr. Rias, the victim. Prints on the top panel, Betty. Trucy wore gloves during the show, so none of her fingerprints were found. Mr. Rias' palm prints are reversed. That's right. His palm prints, when we found him, it looked like he was facing away from the audience. That's where he would have been like this, with his hands or whatever, facing away. But when he died, he fell this way. So he was in the coffin 2 different times, I guess, or something. Yeah, like that. That's a better depiction than what I just did. Now you understand. But do identical twins have the same fingerprints? I don't think so. I don't know, you know? If they have like the same DNA, I guess you'd think it would be that way. But you know, I don't know. You think they would at least be like similar or something? Like maybe they had like damage over time that changed their fingerprints, you think? Might be worth a Google, actually. I guess in this world, they're not. That's just apparently what happened. Because apparently we can tell them apart. Yeah, auto filled in for you. Oh, the question? Like on Google or something? Was it like a frequently asked question? It's funny. People ask the weirdest things in Google, man. Now, this is the contract. Signed by Trucy, that details liability for compensation. So this is one of those shitty contracts that the Raja guy got her to sign. It says, Article 1, the first party will pay all expenses for the magic show. The second party will confer all program broadcasting rights to the first party. Article 2, if, through the fault of the second party, the show must be canceled in part or in full, the second party will pay $3 million as compensation to the first party. Which is ridiculous.
Welcome in hoodie_23.
The twins have identical fingerprints, while identical twins share many physical characteristics. Each person still has their own unique fingerprint. So they're still just different enough, huh? They're just identical as far as we can tell. I suppose, right? Yes, so from Google. Okay. Hey, what's up, Hoodie? Hello, Domm and everyone. Please, can I have a recap if it's a good time? Oh, yeah, we're actually still going over the recap, but I can, I'll do like a quick recap of what the case is. So we're on the Magical Turnabout. Magical Turnabout starts with a magic show that Trucy puts on, and Apollo and Athena are there to watch it. During the magic show, she stabs into this coffin that she was supposedly supposed to be like in there just a second before, but then after she does so, a body falls out. And so she gets blamed for killing that man. That man happens to be a person who used to be a part of the Grammary troupe but was ousted. He was canceled. And he was coming back, and we've found some evidence that he was maybe trying to steal the magic from Trucy or something like that. All the while, there's the guy who's the producer of the show, and he's trying to screw over Trucy, as you just saw the $3 million. He got Trucy to sign a contract, and then he had like that carbon copy paper, you know, that black paper you put under the sheet, and then you put another copy of the same document, so it transfers the same writing, you know what I mean? He did that to her, but on a different document, so she signed a contract she didn't know she was signing, because Trucy's very careful. So yeah, that's essentially the major recap, and we're going over the other evidence right now. Hopefully that gets you caught up there, Hoodie. It's good to see you. And every time I think about these games, I definitely know that Togepi and Hoodie might be around. I appreciate you guys being here. All of y'all. Got Trucy's statement. Trucy moved the stage lifts to cover for Bonnie's mistake. She told no one about this. That's right. Because underneath the stage, the lift that Trucy was supposed to use to pop up was supposed to be the one next to Bonnie. On the stage, but Bonnie accidentally put Mr. Hand, or Mr. Hat, or whatever, the mannequin guy on the other side of the coffin. So Trucy had to move the lift really quick, get on it, and pop up. Which I don't know how she did it that fast. That is crazy. But yeah, but she didn't tell anybody about it, and they apparently knew that. I think last week Betty talked about how that happened, and Betty shouldn't have known. So it was like something that Betty had planned on, like she staged it to happen. So they're not looking so good. Trucy's statement. Bonnie messed up her Mr. Hat's position for the escape trick, placing him opposite the scripted location on the right side. As a result, Trucy had to quickly move the lifts under the stage. She never told anyone that she had moved the stage lifts. It's an important detail. I think we've already used it, though, so some of this might actually get thrown out pretty soon. Here's the clipboard that was used to make Trucy sign those documents. Clipboard used by Trucy to sign her contract. It was also instrumental in the raiding Raja's dishonest dealings. That son of a bitch. Carbon sheet under that have to be illegal. Yeah, exactly. That's what we gotta nail him for. It's like this time it's not only murder, but it's fraud. Fraud and murder. She moved so fast, it was like magic. Yeah, exactly. But that's Trucy for you. Stage lift number 2. The stage lift Trucy had to move out of the way during the show since it was already all the way up. Yeah, that's another thing too. She did not only had to move one from one side to the other, but there was one that was already up and in the way that she had to move out of the way. It seems like such a huge amount of work to do, and we have not addressed that. I feel like the fact that that would take so long. Oh, is there anything else there to go over? We have the autopsy report. The victim's real name was Man of Mystery. His blood is on the murder weapon. Sorry. Man of Mystery's autopsy report. Time of death: April 27th, approximately 10:30 a.m. Cause of death: shock as a result of being stabbed through the back with a sharp blade. The victim's real name was Man of Mystery. They keep saying that. He's the international Man of Mystery. Betty sound like an evil name. I never trust Betty. Yeah, it's kind of funny how they do that. Bonnie's the good one and Betty's the bad one. Because I think they're definitely going for that same thing, as you're saying. Prank plan script. The corpse appearing and the set piece falling were staged by Roger Reedens. Oh, that's right. That's what it was. That bringing it all back all of a sudden from 2 weeks ago. Yeah, okay. So Betty and Bonnie were hired by Roger Reedens to play a prank on Trucy to make it look like she killed Mr. Rios. But then she actually killed him, I guess is what they're saying. But this is sort of like their backup plan to try to explain why it all happened. So this is how Betty and Bonnie apparently are innocent, because they thought it was all just a prank, bro, you know? But somebody really fucking died here, dude. This sketch is reminding me a lot of a plot point from Genshin Impact. Oh, really? Magic show incident, and it introduces the player into a court session. Oh, that's cool. I wonder if they were inspired by this, because that'd be kind of cool. I like that there's even a courtroom session in Genshin. That's pretty sick. I haven't played Genshin since it came out, but it was pretty cool back then. Let's see. The script says, Mr. Rios' body will appear in the supposedly empty coffin, which should cause a big ruckus. After capturing a bit of Trucy's reaction on film, Mr. Rios will come back to life, laughing and flying up into the air, which is why he had the harness on, causing another round of surprise. So that was the plan. It was just a prank, bro. Trucy's note, a note found in the dressing room after the incident that bears Trucy's signature. Let's check this out. Bonnie, get the video camera after Mr. Rios comes tumbling out. So this was trying to say that Trucy knew about the prank stuff too, but this is another instance of just getting Trucy's name on a document that it shouldn't have been on or whatever. But I mean, why would she sign it Trucy right? You know, I feel like that was a weird thing to put on a post-it note. Oh, signed, dear your friend Domm Dynamite. Feeling it might. Yeah, that'd be so awesome. I know that this game definitely references a lot of other stuff too, so it'd be cool to see other games reference it. I mean, I guess this game is pretty heavily referenced in like pop culture. I feel like you hear sounds from it sometimes. Like you probably wouldn't know if you didn't play the game, but there's been like YouTubers and stuff I've heard where they'll like use little sounds where I'm like, oh, that's from Ace Attorney. That's like definitely the sound that they use for like the gavel or whatever, or objection or whatever. It's great. I'm sure they took a lot of inspiration from Ace Attorney. The whole region is kind of tailored to justice. Oh, that's cool. Man, that kind of makes me want to go to that region in the game, play the game a little bit more. Yeah, objection. Yeah, exactly. Take that, I've heard. Yeah, take that's a good one, too. Why would you put a formal signature on a paper like that? Yeah, exactly, Togepi. I think it's so funny that they expect us to believe that. All right. I think that covers everything, right? Hold on. Court record. Profiles, we met everybody, right? Oh, we didn't talk about the There's a new prosecutor in town. This guy. A prosecutor from Coleraine. He's also a monk, which explains why he's known as the Last Rites Prosecutor. Yeah, he's been pretty interesting. Okay. Let me eat another apple slice here, and then we'll fucking jump on into it, shall we? That's funny. The game was mentioned in a TV show Hoodie was watching, and you scream. That's so funny. Isn't it exciting? I love that stuff. It's like, hell yeah. Somebody plays Ace Attorney that works on that show. I love that. I want Ace Attorney to become even bigger. I know it's a pretty big like IP, but it could be even bigger, you know? Yeah, that's right, Togepi. That's so hard, really good villain name. Yeah, I know, isn't that funny? The Last Rites Prosecutor. But he's like very mellow. I mean, that's partially probably the voice I'm giving him, to be fair. Alright, let's get into it. Pausing the music. And here we go. April 28th. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Uh-oh, I think we lost audio there. I didn't hear anything. Yeah, now I think about it, I'm not getting anything. Why is it doing that? I should be able to fix it if I just go to the settings. Figure. It did this to me earlier. Where is it? Audio. I think if I just cycled it off and on. Yeah, we get it back. I just gotta give it back to you guys because it now needs to be updated for the capture. Oh, that's probably why I'm losing it. Okay, so it's the NDI that's doing it. Okay. I got this ultra wide monitor and it has totally changed how I have to do all this crap. So now we should be good now. Cool, I just gotta get the other little screen back up here. Cool, make sure my inner voice is set. Oh, no inner voice. Come on. Come on. Come on, there we go. I think it's working. I hope it's working. Should be on right now. There we go. This is your ultra wide, also curved. Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's like a super ultra wide too. It spans like my whole desk pretty much. It's like two 28-inch monitors, like side by side, and curved. It's awesome. It is working. Oh sweet. Thank you for confirmation there. The animations, I always forget these ones have such cool animations. I know, I love that. You should have seen the ones with Bonnie and Betty, Hoodie. If you missed the 2 weeks ago one, you should definitely see. I don't know if they're going to show them again, but Bonnie and Betty have some awesome animations. They do a lot of stuff because they interact together. I love how Betty, she'll always get mad at Bonnie and then just start like hitting her with her shoulder and stuff. And I love that kind of stuff. It's a fun little thing. That wasn't a question, right? You do a quick explanation of the difference between curved versus uncurved screens. It's just like it sounds. One would be flat and one would be curved. The reason why it's, I guess, important to curve them would be the same reason why if you had two monitors, you might angle them slightly in. The curve is just like a more natural, like curvature. It makes it so that the distance from your eyeballs to the screen is the same, whether it's all the way on the far left, the far right, or the center. That's what the curve, I think, is supposed to essentially be for. But I'll tell you what it does when you're using the computer is video games span the whole thing, man. Like, not all games do, but games like, like Satisfactory do, or Final Fantasy 14, or like a lot of games do, even GTA 5 does. And it gives you this huge like immersion factor where like your peripherals now are video game stuff, so as you're like walking through something, you're just seeing things kind of go past you a little bit more like this, and it's actually pretty freaking cool. It's also cool for stuff like Age of Empires. I played Age of Empires with it, and you just get so much more real estate because it's so big. The game is spanning basically 2 monitors, and there's no seam in the middle. It's amazing. But yeah, mine's the Samsung Odyssey G9 or something like that. I think they just came out the G10, so this one was on sale on Black Friday. I think it was like $1,000. It was more than 1,000 actually. I think maybe a little bit more. Or no, it was on sale. It's normally 1,500. I think it was on sale for like 800. I think that's what I got. So it was like 1,000 after tax or whatever. But yeah, it's been pretty worth it. So now I have my 2 other bigger monitors hanging out up here, so I have so much more real estate for my stream stuff. It's been pretty cool. But yeah. So tell me I can hyperfixate even more. Exactly. You can hyperfixate on more things too if you want. Real estate. Stream from future to us peasants. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool setup. This is like what I put all my money into, dude. So it's like I have this fucking kick-ass like desk with all these cool things, right? But then you go to my living room, dude, and it's empty still. I've lived in this house for a year. I have like nothing in my living room except for my exercise bike and like some shelves that I got from my mom for Christmas. I've now filled the shelves though. I'm trying to like get that room going. It's because I always spend my money on shit like that, dude. I'm just like a giant man-child. That's what you gotta understand. It's free real estate. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the fact that it can go up and down. I can't live without that now. Are we ready to go on? Sorry, I was taking that as an opportunity to eat some more apples. In case of emergencies, an exercise bike can be used as a chair. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I recently got like a giant beanbag chair just so I have something I can lounge in because I don't have like a couch. And so it's like just office chair or my bed for like so long until I'm like, okay, I gotta do something. So I got one of those giant memory foam beanbags. It's pretty thick, but it takes up so much space. But I think I'll eventually move it to my living room. I think it'll be a cool like, instead of like a love seat, I'll have this giant beanbag chair. All right, let's get to it. Oh, you got an up-down desk? Nice. It's changed my life. Such cool design. Yeah, isn't it so great? I love being able to stand and work now on like my computer, or even play games and standing. It's great. I mean, you don't want to do it all day, but it's just so nice to have that option. Just anytime you want. Anytime your like back starts to feel a little stiff, just change. Legs start to hurt, change. All right, let's do it. Phew, that was hairy. Tell me about it. We barely made it through by the skin of my teeth. I can't say I'm crazy about that prosecutor Sadmati either. You know, with the way he says let it go and move on, as if it's nothing. Let it go and move on, huh? Oh, who's this? Well, boy, am I interrupting a secret conclave of villains or something? Who's this? No, it's this guy. Got our next evil scheme in the works already? What do you want? Keep making that face, champ, and everybody's gonna change the channel. Look this way, Trucy. Now smile for the camera. Let's see those pearly whites. Isn't that what the Grammary Creed tells you to do? Don't you throw that in her face. You son of a bitch! And Sensei's my puppy, be able to sleep on lap while stand. That's true, yeah. A baby sling for him. Oh, we love it. He loves it also, to be honest. That's awesome. Oh, yeah. And the camera must be so close to Apollo's face. Right? How does it feel, Trucy? Everybody online can't stop talking about you. They're calling you a real witch out there. Could this be the end of the troop Grammary? Oh, what, you creep? Oh, what's this? Something just charged into frame. It looks like a yellow gorilla or something. Could it be Trucy's pet? Filming is prohibited inside this courthouse. Do you want me to get the bailiff? Huh? Filming? What are you talking about? I don't even have a camera on me. Huh? What happened to the camera? It just disappeared right before our very eyes. That's a little suspicious. He just did magic? Sleight of hand? What? Motive?
I'll be enjoying the rest of the Trucy show from the gallery. I put out a call for Trucy's fans to come and support her earlier, by the way. Bet I'll get some great footage out of them. This is gonna be good. Hang loose, baby.
He called in some of Trucy's fans? But for what purpose?
Apollo? That thing Mr. Reedens just did. That was some high-level sleight of hand.
See, I knew it. Huh? Why would he know how to do something like that?
I don't know, but he definitely has some serious magic skills.
No way. But I thought he said magicians are all a bunch of good-for-nothings.
Mr. Lawyer?
Who's this? I never know who it is. Just tell me who it is. I don't need it to be a surprise.
Mr. Lawyer?
Oh, hello, Pawnee. Can I help you with something?
Well, there's something that's been bothering me.
Really? What is it?
Well, you see...
Hey, dummy! What are you whispering to the lobster boy about?
Yeah, see, these are their animations. I'm glad you got to see it. Yeah, because I love their animations. I think it's so funny, Betty.
Shut the fuck up.
Betty?
Who the heck do you think you are? Are you crazy? You want a piece of this? You know you have to talk to me first before you do or say anything, you hairbrain.
But I...
Shut your mouth, you dummy bunny. Come with me now.
Oh, poor Bonnie. I wonder what was bothering her.
There's no way we're finding that out with Betty constantly hovering over her like that.
Court is about to reconvene.
Will you be all right testifying?
Yes. It's just... I wonder what Mr. Reedens has up his sleeve. I doubt he's bringing in actual fans.
Yeah, probably not.
I wonder what he has up his sleeve, too. You better not be trying to get under Trucy's skin right now, of all times.
You're Trucy right, and you'll be fine.
Oh!
There goes Apollo with his best trick.
That's right. Whenever I'm feeling down, I always tell myself I'm fine.
All right, I'll give it a try. I'm Trucy Wright, and I'm fine. Thanks, Polly. I think I can do this now.
That a girl. Good luck up there on the stand. You'll do great. Betty, more like Bully, exactly. They looking so cute in costumes. I know, I love that.
Esther_aka_Stella.
Thank you for the alert, Stella. So happy to be here, but got an alert due to migraine. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you got a migraine. Sorry about that.
All right, Justice. You can do this too. Time to focus on the rest of the trial.
Yeah, hopefully you get over that migraine real quick. The Nile is a river in Egypt, Apollo. Exactly. There you go. April 28th, District Court, courtroom number 6. I have to remember how I did the voice for Saad Mahdi now.
Court is now back in session. Defendant, please step up to the witness stand.
I don't know why I couldn't read that.
Trucy Wright, magician.
She's the first one to just come out and say it.
Here comes the liar. Throw the murderer in jail.
The last member of the criminal troupe.
Boo! Order. The gallery will be quiet. I will have you all thrown out on the spot.
What's with all the hecklers?
I bet they're the fans Mr. Reedens invited.
What a grade A jerk. Well, he's not going to psych us out. Now then, Miss Wright. This court would like to know if you switched from the steel sword to the rubber sword on stage. So please testify about this issue.
She's just gonna try and trick us again with her magic. Hurry up and convict her. Give her the death penalty.
Silence! All of you! I won't tell you again. Miss Wright, do you feel able to testify?
Yes, I'm fine, Your Honor.
Trucy, I knew I shouldn't have let her go through with all this.
I'd like to make a small request. How about, instead of testifying with words, I show you exactly what happened? Would that be alright, Your Honor? You can witness my stupendous sword-switching magic and judge for yourselves.
In spite of everything, she's still smiling.
Our Trucy's amazing, isn't she?
She sure is. She's doing just fine up there.
A true entertainer always keeps a smile on their face. She's faithfully following the Troop Grammary Creed even now. She really is something else.
It's showtime for magical girl Trucy Wright.
Yeah, with shadow puppets.
Watch carefully now, everybody.
Witness testimony. This is interesting. First time this has happened. The stupendous sword switch.
Ladies and gentlemen, please focus your attention on this sword. Allow me to demonstrate just how sharp this blade truly is. See that? No tricks or gimmicks. A very sharp sword indeed. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, watch as I take this sword and... Presto Sordo! There, I've switched it. And now... Hup. As you can see, the blade is not steel, but rubber.
She used her magical panties. Bailiff, arrest this witch. Bravo, Miss Wright.
Wow, she switched them in a flash! I couldn't see her do it at all.
She's completely turned the room around.
The hecklers are being drowned out by all the cheering.
Hell yeah, Trucy. She doesn't need us. Wow, wild applause. Exactly. Thank you for the clip, Stella.
Well, where did the steel sword vanish off to, Miss Wright? In order to deepen our understanding of the case, please tell us if you would. I am not asking out of mere curiosity, just so you know. And it's not because I just thought it was really cool. Well, it's also that.
The magical panties. Hell yeah. Yeah, you know she's using them.
I usually hide the steel sword backstage when I switch them during the show.
So when you thrust the rubber sword into the coffin, the steel sword wasn't even on stage, but behind the curtain?
Exactly. So you see, there is a trick and a gimmick to it after all. And as for where the steel sword went when I performed the trick just now, it's a secret. Wouldn't want to spoil the magic for you now, would I? That's our Trucy.
Yeah. Still. Miss Wright, that part where you spun around, that's an actual part of the sword switching trick you do for the show, right?
Right. The other parts, like the apple, were just to help with my explanation here in court.
That's funny. I think I found an inconsistency in her testimony. And it looks like I'm not the only one. I don't know what it's doing there. But now that I've found it, I have to get to the bottom of it.
Now then, Mr. Justice, you may go ahead and question the witness. But try not to ask dumb questions and spoil this wondrous magic. I'll be so pissed.
I thought this was supposed to be my cross-examination.
Definitely in the magical panties. Hell yeah. I mean, where else is she gonna put it? She's drops them in there, and everything just disappears. It's the fourth fucking dimension in there, dude. Get another apple here real quick. Let's do the storage switch. No, let's save. I forgot they switched the health bar to these badges. I thought it was a pretty cool change. Let's look at their evidence real quick. There's an inconsistency here. Is it the sword rack somehow? Seems the rubber sword Trucy says she swapped in for the trick. I don't know how that would contradict anything she said. It's the only thing that really references the sword, though. It's covered by mistake. She told no one about this. Alright, let's look at her testimony again. Please focus your attention on the sword. Oh, I guess I gotta press, don't I? Maybe that'll help me identify what the thing was. For some reason, I forgot how this game worked, dude. What happened? Hold it! Please be careful, Miss Wright.
Don't worry, I've practiced this trick 1,000 times. That's right, Apollo. You have to give Trucy some credit. She knows what she's doing.
I know, but it still makes me nervous every time.
But that's what magic is all about. A truly great magician can make her audience experience all kinds of thrills and chills.
I guess you're right. I'd better try not to interrupt her too much while she's doing the trick. I don't want to distract her or break her concentration.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, back to the exciting world of magic. Allow me to demonstrate just how sharp this blade truly is.
What if I did it right when she's like, throws it up?
Hold it! Hold it! Miss Wright! Please don't swing that big dangerous thing around! Somebody could get hurt.
Apollo! Please don't shout when I'm swinging said blade around. Somebody could get hurt.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I couldn't help myself.
You should know better than to talk to me when I'm on stage.
Mr. Justice, I'll see you in my chambers after court is adjourned. Uh-oh, I don't suppose somebody could make me disappear before that happens.
Let's just watch quietly, shall we, Apollo? And now, back to the show. See that? No tricks or gimmicks. A very sharp sword indeed.
Hold it! So it's definitely a real sword, right?
Now, Apollo. I know you're excited, but you have to control yourself.
Mr. Justice, if you needlessly interrupt the wonderful magic show again, I'll be forced to bring my very real gavel down on your head.
The judge seems to be completely taken in by Trucy's magic.
Yeah, it's like she's cast a magic spell over him. Better not interrupt her anymore. There's no telling what the judge might do to me.
I mean, we have to, though. but we have to.
Miss Wright, please ignore any further outbursts from Mr. Justice. And proceed with your spectacular trick.
All right, here I go then. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, watch as I take this sword and...
Hold it!
Damn it, didn't work.
Hold it!
Hold it!
Oops. I did it again.
I've had it up to here, Apollo! Can't you listen quietly like a big boy?
Sorry about that. I got a little too worked up.
Apollo. Now, boys and girls, watch carefully and please don't kick the seat in front of you. I will now take this sword and... Presto Sordo! There! I've switched it.
Uh-oh. My lights just flickered. Is my... power still on? Sorry, one second. Gotta make sure my everything's good. I have a battery backup, so my stream and everything should hopefully still stay going or whatever. Yeah, everything seems fine. I think my power's still going. Okay. Weird. Hope my power doesn't go out. We've had a lot of like snow and stuff lately, but honestly today wasn't even that bad. I think everything's fine. I might run upstairs real quick just to make sure everything's cool. It's weird when my light's so flat very often. Watch the sword and hold it. Yeah, exactly. You look like you were amazed by the magic for a moment. Dom just turned to stare at Trucy in shock. Oh, whoa! That's funny. Because, yeah, I looked straight towards Trucy. That's awesome. Faulty light bulbs. No. I don't think they're faulty light bulbs. I think it's just the fact that the power has been going out in the other neighborhoods nearby. So that's probably what it is. But I'm just going to run upstairs really quick. I'll be right back. Should be fine. We are good to go. Everything is fine. I just hope it doesn't disappear like magic. Alright, here we go.
Presto Sordo! There, I've switched it.
Hold it! So you switched swords when you spun around just now.
That's right. It's the same way I do the trick in the actual magic show, too. Why did I not be... It's the same way I do the trick in the actual magic show, too. But I'm also doing a lot of extra things that I don't do during the show right now, though. The key point is the sword switching. If only we could prove she did it during the actual show, too.
Right. Prove that she switched them during the show.
What's the matter, Apollo? You look troubled.
Oh, it's nothing. No, this is quite the pickle. How should I go about handling this? Miss Wright, please continue with your trick.
So you've all just witnessed me switching the swords. And now, hup.
Hold it! Watch out!
What do you think you're doing, Apollo?
But you were putting yourself in danger. I couldn't just stand by and not say something. Mr. Justice, you're putting your head in danger of meeting my gavel. Right here, you see it?
Apollo, you'd better apologize before you become this case's next victim.
I'm very sorry, everyone. How did it come to this?
All right, boys and girls, if you want to ask for an encore, wait until the end, okay? Now then, my sword was sharp as steel just moments ago, but... as you can see, the blade is not steel, but rubber.
Oh, I forgot I hit the wrong button.
Wow, that's incredible! When in the world did you switch them?
Huh? But I explained it once already.
Could you show it to me again?
Sure. But remember, a magician doesn't usually share her secrets. So this is a very special exception.
And I'm very grateful for your generosity, believe me. I'd better take a good hard look at the instant she switches the swords.
Even though she explained how she does it, I still can't see her do it. Blows me away no matter how many times I watch.
Yeah, me too, but...
What is it, Apollo?
did you notice anything about the way Trucy moves during the trick?
You mean, like, her movements?
I don't get it. What's the real story, Trucy?
Yeah, I don't get it either, Apollo. I wish you would let me know a little bit more what you're talking about there, buddy. Trucy looks at Apollo and gets whacked by the rubber sword. Just don't, like, damn it, Apollo! The right story for the game, that would be the funniest. Yeah, there's some tools out there to write cases. I don't know if you ever thought about that, Togepi. All right, let's see. We gotta watch the moment she switches the swords. What's going on there? There's something about that animation. Okay, and what do I have, like a piece of evidence that that says something about that? Oh, jeez. Yeah, check them out. Some seem to make it pretty easy. I mean, I guess I never really like got into them that much. So it probably gets pretty complicated, I guess. But they definitely make it a lot easier than starting from scratch. You know, they give you a lot of like the assets and stuff are really easy to add in there and stuff. So yeah, I know you write, so that could be a fun thing, right? Something about the way Trucy moves. See, all I really have about the sword here is the sword stand, but that doesn't do anything about the way she moves. That has got me stumped. What is Apollo on about? Look at it again. It's like there must have been something that we went over last time that would have said something for me. And then after that... Yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm not sure. It'd be so fun to see a Domm play a follower made case. Yeah, that'd be cool. If wanting to, of course. Yeah, I think that could be cool. I've definitely thought about trying out some of the fan cases afterwards. I know a lot of them reference stuff in the games that are like spoilers, and so that's one reason why I try to keep away from them. But I've seen there's actually quite a few that people have done a lot of work on, and it's like it could be cool to do that for sure. Once we get through all of the official content, of course. Let me see. I'm actually gonna take a peek because I'm not even sure where this is going. I feel like I'm misunderstanding what Apollo is trying to tell us or something. So let me see if I can't find a little hint here. Oh man, okay, well that wasn't really much of a hint. It just straight up told me what to look at. But hey, it's okay. We'll look at it first. So there was one other thing Of course, that shows Trucy doing the trick, and I forgot. We have the show footage. Let's watch it. Let's watch what she does here. No, she didn't spin. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And there was a sword back there in the thing still I saw. I mean, why would she ever need the sword to be sharp? That's kind of like what I'm wondering. Like, for the trick, she doesn't ever do anything that would require a sharp sword, so why not just have the rubber sword the whole time, right? Okay, so let me save. And we're gonna present this. Objection! Objection! Oh no, you're on the right one already. Miss Wright, there's something I'd like to confirm with you. Is there a lot more? Yeah, there's quite a few. I mean, I guess I'm not sure how much a lot would be, but there's at least like 4 projects, I think. 3 or 4. And I don't know if they have multiple cases, but they're like 3 or 4 groups of people or whatever that made cases, and some of them they've actually like drawn new artwork for new characters and stuff too, which is pretty cool. And so yeah, it'd be cool to see what other people could come up with. You know, it'd be cool that this just came more of like a format than like a series, wouldn't it? You know, that like this is just like a way games like are. This is like a genre, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Which I know there are other games like Ace Attorney though. What was one of them? Was one of them called Legal Eagle or something like that? There was another one that was Legal something that I know I've been looking at to maybe follow up my Ace Attorney. But yeah, anyways.
What is it, Apollo?
There seems to be a discrepancy between the way you performed the trick for us just now and the way it appears in the show footage.
What? But that can't be. I performed it exactly the same way both times.
Then what's going on here? Miss Wright, I have the show footage right here. And the part where you twirl your cape around is missing from it.
What? But I did it!
So, it really is the exact moment you switch the swords?
Yes, that's right.
Has it been edited by the Ratings Raja guy, dude?
I knew it. Well, I certainly never expected the defense to expose the accused lie for me. Mr. Justice, does this mean that you are arguing that the defendant did not swap the swords during the actual magic show? No, Your Honor, that wasn't my intention. I mean,
I did swap them. I know I did. I'm absolutely sure of it.
human memory is unreliable at best, but in this case, I'm afraid that it is the witness herself who cannot be trusted. We can see the footage for ourselves. The claims of this witness are false.
But...
Now that it has been proven that the accused did not swap swords, it means that the use of the steel sword to pierce the coffin was wholly intentional. And by the way, was it not you, Mr. Justice, who argued that Mr. Rias's death was not an accident, but murder? I assume you have no objections to that still. It was, after all, your own assertion. The defense,
The defense has an objection to you, Mr. Apollo Justice. I demand you withdraw the discrepancy you pointed out now.
But there is a discrepancy, and it must mean something, I'm sure of it. Will the defense team kindly save their spat until after court is adjourned? Now, after all of this debate, it seems we've come back around to the original argument. The defendants knew about the prank plan that would place the victim inside the coffin. What's more, the defendant did not perform the sword-switching trick on stage. Through her actions, I'm afraid I have come to see the true intentions of the accused. Her murderous intentions. It is such a shame.
But I did switch the swords, I swear!
You're knee-deep in it now, Justice.
I think the video was edited, dude. I think it was a little bit of CGI, you know? And quite because of work, this is a good podcast. Nice. I'm glad you think so, Chibi. Hell yeah, dude. That's what I try to aim for with all the voices and stuff. Hopefully that keeps it exciting. Better than me just flatly reading it, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of writing, I've decided to give my novel another draft, just sort of refining the vision for it. Nice, hell yeah. That's how I work with my process whenever I do write. I tend to like write and then revise, write and revise. And sometimes I get stuck in the revise step and I just keep revising and revising until like I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing anymore. But sometimes it works for me. So that's cool. I think that's awesome. Hopefully you get closer to where you want it. Why they not have a sword used when dead body appearing? Why is sword in hand not taken straight away? Oh, yeah, it's like it was weird. Like you're saying, like when the actual like event happened. Yeah, I think it was partially because like everybody thought it was a part of the show, and Trucy was just really stunned. And then all of a sudden, this giant dragon set piece fell in front of Trucy and everybody. So a lot of things could have happened after that fell, and we actually don't know any of that. So I think that would be why it wasn't immediately grabbed or whatever, if that's what you're saying. I think it's probably because just like the mass confusion that happened. Because like I said, a lot of people thought it was actually part of the show. I think like Apollo and Athena did at first. Probably something like that. Relatable, yeah. I'm not the only one then, huh?
Excuse me.
Let's see, you are, which one again? Benny or, no, that's not right, Body,
It's Bonnie. You were mixing the two names together, Your Honor.
Oh, pardon me. And do you have something you wish to say, Bonnie?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to testify.
About what?
The more I think about it, the less possible it seems. I don't believe Trucy killed Mr. Rias.
Bonnie?
Hey, what's the big idea? Such an incredibly gifted and talented magician would never commit murder. I refuse to believe it.
What are you talking about, you harebrained hare? You keep your trap shut. I got a bag of baby carrots for you, so chew on those and pipe down.
No, I won't be quiet.
What's the matter with you? Didn't you hear me?
Trucy said something to me once.
Huh?
She said, no matter how scared you get, no matter how mean people are to you, you can't give in or give up. That's what being a professional magician is all about. Isn't that right, Trucy? That's right, Bonnie. I've always been afraid to stand up to Betty. Afraid to defy her. So I did what she said. But when I saw Trucy today, she gave me strength.
She's gonna try and trick us again with her magic. Hurry up, convict her already. Give her the death penalty. Mwahaha.
I should put this in the past voice.
I'd like to make a small request. How about, instead of testifying with words, I show you exactly what happened. Would that be all right, Your Honor? You can witness my stupendous sword-switching magic and judge for yourselves. Seeing her courage, the way she kept smiling despite everything, she's just incredible. So I'm not gonna run away. I'm scared, but for once, I'm gonna be brave.
I like how Betty's, like, umbrella is still, like, inside out. That's funny.
What have you done to my sister, Trucy Wright? You've practically brainwashed her. It's the power of Trucy's conviction. That's what it is. It's touched Bonnie's heart.
Yeah, Trucy really is one magical girl. Bonnie, is the topic of your testimony related to that thing that was bothering you? The thing you tried to tell us about in the lobby during the recess.
Yes. Ever since I saw the show footage, something's been nagging at me. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but something is off. I feel like something about it is different from what I saw on the stage.
What do you mean by that, Bonnie?
I wonder if what was shown on TV is really the same as what happened on stage.
Of course it is. The show has only been performed once, after all. It can't show anything other than what happened on that stage yesterday. Objection! But Bonnie's testimony deserves our attention. We have to examine the show footage. But what can we check it against? Do you have some other footage of the show? Well...
I have some show footage.
You do?
One of the TV station's cameramen said he was a fan of mine. He kept his camera on me throughout the entire show. And then, afterwards, he gave me the footage he shot as a present.
That's what that guy that was filming Trucy was gonna do, wasn't he? Because he just went straight for Trucy, dude. It's funny that Bonnie also had a cameraman who did the same thing. He did?
To tell you the truth, I thought it was kind of creepy, so I was going to get rid of it.
Please submit that footage to the court.
Yeah, a fan. There you go. Let me switch to seated mode real quick.
Now then, let's take a look at this new footage.
It's like from behind the stage too, huh? Oh, look, geez, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Then you're gonna give it this video to her when you can see you creeping on her, dude? Come on.
Welcome in Krazzle 3 more.
Oh, what's up, Lamer? How's it going, dude? We're watching some show footage back here as evidence. Oh, okay. It's going to be the timestamps, right? Because it's going to be longer. Because it's like I said, they edited it out. I should even hit the cameraman.
Wow. Okay, then. He really did keep his camera on Bonnie the whole time, didn't he? It was hot. I mean, what a creep.
Yeah, no thank you. So creepy. Exactly, dude. Where's Mr. Hat? Is what I want to know. Oh yeah, he's the Mr. Hat fan. He just have somebody just on him the whole time. Poor guy. Creeps save lives. Yeah, spread the word. Yeah, because they're always recording, and sometimes that helps, I guess. Well, feels weird, man.
I think this cameraman needs to keep his personal feelings out of his work.
Yeah, I agree, dude. Same thing with Trucy's fam. I feel like I'm overlapping a little too much, right?
Well, defense, do you still believe this new show footage is worth inspecting? Of course I do.
Okay, so how are we going to go about this?
Let's try comparing the two. We just might find an inconsistency between them.
An inconsistency, huh?
Yes, the two pieces of footage are of the same scene, so they should match up. But Bonnie felt that there was something off about the original footage. So if we can pick out what's different between the two.
We'll know what Bonnie found strange.
Exactly. Plus, we may figure out why the original doesn't show the sword switching trick. You know we will find that out. Hell yeah. Your Honor, the defense would like to compare these two pieces of show footage. Very well. I will allow it. What a waste of time.
Apollo, do you know how to compare the two pieces of footage?
No, I've never done it before.
I'll give you a little lesson then. Use the buttons on the bottom of the screen to operate the playback. When you want to speed through, touch the fast forward button. When you want to go back, touch the rewind button. When you want to halt the playback, you can touch the pause button.
Makes sense, sounds real.
Oh, and by the way, if you fast forward or rewind when the playback is paused, you can do a slow frame-by-frame playback.
Oh, that we'll probably need that to see like the cut. I bet if you did a frame by frame on Trucy's video, we could probably find a cut in there, right? It'd be like impossible to completely hide in a frame by frame playback. Yeah, the Blue Badger camera footage that we watched like 100 million times. Yeah, I feel that. That music gets stuck in your head. Okay, and so how do I switch between the two videos?
Just touch the switch camera button. Now, if you find the difference between the two, put the cursor over what's different and present in the court.
Thanks, Athena. You really know your stuff.
Not really. I just gave it some gusto and then went with my gut on most of it. The symbols kind of speak for themselves, Apollo.
What? I sure hope she guessed right. Anyway, let's give it a try. It's gonna be coming up. I think it wasn't even on her when she did it. The cut must be like right here. All right, let's switch. There's cards that fly out. When does that happen on this one? Yeah, the cards don't even fly out on this one. So I'm gonna try that, I guess. We'll start with that. Save state, of course. Obvi.
The card. What about a card?
Take that? Question mark. This is it right here. Take a good look at this scene and compare it to the video shot from the front. Oh, the playing cards don't appear in the video shot from the front.
Hey, you're right. What's going on here?
Miss Wright, what can you tell us about these playing cards?
Oh, those? They're the cards I throw when I do the sword switching trick.
What? Mr. Justice, does this mean? Yes, it means that the sword switching trick was cut from the TV show footage. So the footage was edited. Yes, with malicious intent. That is absurd. Well, we must get to the bottom of this right away. Bailiff, the TV station might still have the unedited footage. Go see what you can find out. Yes, Your Honor.
So who's holding it now? What the fuck? Whoa, who's this? Oh, this guy. Mr. Reedens. It's you! Now, hold up, Your Honor. This is all just a big misunderstanding. Believe you me. Realized in 9 days the Apologist's trilogy will release. Oh, really? 9 days? Nice. Hell yeah. I'm gonna have to pick that one up just cause. You know what I'm saying? Be nice to have a high quality version of it. That's also not a ROM. Reedens, give a guy a chance to defend himself before you start pointing fingers. And who might you be? Right. Sorry about that. I got ahead of myself there. Here's my business card. Charmed to make your acquaintance, Your Honor. Oh, well, very polite of you. It's so lovely to meet you, too, Prosecutor Sadmati. Please, take my card. Sleazeball. A business card. Ah, yes. I believe... Oh, wait, sorry. I read about this custom among businessmen in this country. I have even familiarized myself with the various replies. How do you do, good sir? Or, what crack-a-lackin', homie, for example. I did not ad-lib that one. That's in the game. That sounds like something I'd add. Oh ho! You're from Take-Two TV, are you, witness? Come to think of it, I believe I've seen you on television before. Crack-a-lack, isn't that hilarious? Yes, Raja Reetens, otherwise known as the Ratings Raja. He is a TV producer and appears on many of his own shows as of late. He is best known for his catchphrase, "Hang loose, baby." Oh my, so you're the Ratings Raja. Hang loose, judgy baby. Nice quorum you got here. I never thought I'd meet you in person. But Prosecutor Sadmati, how do you know so much about him? In preparation for the case, I watched all of his shows. Found the Rating Raja goes to Burger Barn of particular interest. It inspired me to visit that restaurant straight away to learn more about the local cuisine. What? You went to Burger Barn? I love that place. My wife doesn't let me eat there anymore. Who would have thought? You must really wanted to try it, huh, buddy? Because that line, whew. Compared to my ascetic training, an hour's wait is nothing. I recommend the Southwestern burger with jalapeno jack cheese, by the way.
I'm having a really hard time picturing him in line for burgers.
Ahem. I thought you were a little bit of a soy boy. I guess I was mistaken. Prosecutor Sadmati's unexpected enthusiasm for food aside. Mr. Reetens, what is this misunderstanding you mentioned? Well, for starters, it's true that the footage was edited. You'll get your hands on this anyway, so I might as well show it to you unedited. Or I might as well show you the unedited footage. My bad. It's a pretty long video, so I'll just show you the part with the playing cards. You can see the cards when Trushi spins around, so keep your eyes peeled. Was this gonna like screw him over though a little bit? Alright, so here's the unedited footage. What? They just CGI in some cards, dude? She didn't do the spin, right? Did you see the part that was cut there where Trucy switched the swords? She spins around and the playing cards go flying. Everything's like it's supposed to be. It seems the defendant really did swap swords during the trick. Okay, maybe did I look away? Did she do the spin? I didn't see it. I did look away for a second. Which means the sword Miss Wright thrust into the coffin was the rubber one. In other words, Miss Wright couldn't have killed Mr. Reus. Yeah, see, that's the first misunderstanding right there.
What do you mean? Well, Trucy definitely did swap swords, as you saw. So yeah, maybe she didn't kill Mr. Rias when she stabbed the coffin. But that just means he was killed after he showed up pretending to be a corpse.
So you're saying that up until the point... Wait. So you're saying that up until that point, everything was going according to the script? If that's true, then when and how exactly do you think he was killed?
It was after the dragon set piece came crashing down. I say Trucy murdered Mr. Rias when she was hidden from view behind the set piece. She could have easily done it behind that huge dragon and nobody would be the wiser.
I see. Indeed, there is a ring of truth to your assertion.
You bet. Plus there's a suspicious looking shadow in the footage too. It's toward the end of the footage, just before the dragon hits the stage. Might be easier to just see it for yourselves.
Okay, what's that? That face she makes for a second is weird. Yeah, it was like a sandbag coming over something, right?
It's only for a split second, so it's hard to catch, but look here. This suspicious shadow must be Trucy.
That's Trucy? How is all of a sudden Trucy? Okay. Yeah, this dude just makes stuff up now. Objection! Exactly.
She's using the steel sword she hid behind the curtain during the trick to kill the victim.
So he thinks that she went behind the curtain there, or what?
Now that you mention it, I suppose it does look that way.
No way it does. This witness is just trying to ram his theory down our throats, Your Honor. And that's not all. Aren't we forgetting that the witness willfully edited the sword switch out of the footage?
You see, there's your second misunderstanding right there. Your Honor, would you mind if I testified about it? I've seen people testify on TV, and I've always wanted to give it a shot.
That would be fine with me, Prosecutor Sadmati.
This is quite unexpected. It threatens to disrupt the karmic course of this case.
Hey, lighten up, pretty boy. You're gonna like what I gotta say, promise.
Very well. However, if you do anything to impede the last rites for the victim, I will have you removed.
All right. With Prosecutor Sadmati's permission, please give your testimony, Mr. Reedens.
Roger Reedens, the ratings Raja, now Kaiser of the courtroom. I'm taking over the floor, so listen up, loyal viewers.
What a loser. I flee in panic. I just casually murder someone on the way out. Yeah, you know, you just take the opportunity, dude. Crisis is another word for opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Get another apple slice. Almost done with this apple, dude. Been eating it over like the course of an hour. We'll get there. Cactar. Cactar panic. There's a good one. I like those Final Fantasy ones.
It wasn't deliberate, I tell ya. Footage is meant to be edited, I tell ya. Scenes are spliced together, and long or boring scenes are cut out.
True that, brother.
Or they should be.
I'm looking at you, YouTubers, sometimes.
All the stations edit footage this way. It wasn't like it was done maliciously or something. It was just a coincidence that particular scene was cut. It wasn't intentional. Or what? You got some proof that I had an ulterior motive for editing that footage?
I see. So you're saying it was a coincidence that the sword swapping scene was cut.
That's right. Glad you get the picture.
Objection!
Coincidence? That's just a little too convenient if you ask me. Oh, an objection, how cool. Sure packs a lot more punch when you hear it live. Do that again. I want to get another shot from a different angle. My objection is not for your entertainment. And cut. There. Got some good stuff there. Mr. Regents, filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. Whoops, my bad, Judge. And if the defense has an issue, I can point it out during it can point it out during its cross-examination. Cross-examination. Footage is meant to be edited, I tell you. Hold it. Hold it. Really? I've never heard anybody say that. It's common knowledge in the TV world. You got any idea what a snooze cruise it'd be to watch a magic show without editing? A magic show like that one, anyway.
That was ice cold.
Anyway, editing is what makes TV worth watching. Scenes are spliced together, and long and boring scenes are cut out. Hold it! Are you saying you thought there were boring scenes in Miss Wright's magic show? You son of a bitch. You gotta ask? That script and presentation deserve a place on the cutting room floor. Broadcasting that mess as is would have been a complete disaster. That's why I had to edit the footage. It's just what a TV man does. What didn't you like about the show exactly? The whole thing. It's a major snooze fest. Maybe common folk like you don't get it. But a show's only as good as how loud, flashy, and trashy it is. Flashy and trashy.
It was plenty loud and flashy on its own. All you did was add the trash.
I suppose each industry has its own way of doing things. Just as we in the legal profession focus exclusively on evidence and testimony.
We also had to fit 30-minute time slot with commercials. It was only gonna be 22 minutes long, dude. That's true.
Exactly. Whether it's showbiz or the legal biz, we do what we gotta do to get the job done. Anyway, editing footage is just a matter of course in the TV industry. All the stations edit footage this way. It wasn't like it was done maliciously or something. Hold it! It wasn't done maliciously, huh? But I get the distinct impression that you bear feelings of ill will toward Group Grammary.
Troop Grammary, man.
Huh? What makes you think that? The things that you yourself have said.
You'll see. I'll dig up the dirt and expose the dark heart behind that sweet smile. I'll prove those grammary magicians are all a bunch of lowlifes.
Is he gonna be the one that was like actually the man of mystery? Like he is mysterious? Or something? Because Mr. Rias, if anything, he has motive, right? Because he's the one that got ousted. I wonder if the game's gonna do that. Maybe. We'll see. Just a thought.
And I also get the impression that you felt this way for a long time. Words such as those can be interpreted in many different ways. For example, though I bear the defense no ill will, I would not hesitate to say that he is a good-for-nothing lout of a lawyer. You bear me no ill will? Could have fooled me. And yet, it is the truth. I am only strict on you as it seems you have strayed from the path.
If you have any objections, Mr. Justice, please make your case with evidence in the future. Mr. Regent, please continue your testimony. It was a coincidence that that particular scene was cut. It wasn't intentional. Hold it! Of all the scenes you could have cut, why the sword switching trick? Seems like too much of a coincidence to me. Oh, so now you're gonna tell me how I'm supposed to edit my programs, big shot? It's hard being a boss, kid. You gotta make the tough choices, like which content gets cut. Now let me ask you this. Why exactly did you make such a tough choice in this case? Well, then insult Apollo's core being destroyed. The whole bloodline with words, yeah. I think it's funny he just cuts him down after that. Like, you know, I don't hate you or anything, but you're a fucking lowlife, dude. You wouldn't understand, champ. It's all about artistic vision. I tell you, people tell you how to do your job when they don't even know the first thing about it. I may not know TV, but I know evidence law. And boy, do I have some for you, champ. I might not be able to show you that your selective editing was intentional. However, I know you bear the defendant ill will, and this is the evidence that proves it.
Oh, wait, the contract. That's gotta be what proves it, right? The contract is so insane. We're gonna try the contract.
Take that! This piece of evidence proves that you bear ill will toward the defendant. That thing? What could that possibly prove? But take a good look right here. Wouldn't you agree that it puts you in a bad light? But looking bad and having evil intentions are two entirely different things. Look at me, for example. I'm not evil, but I am a bit of a bad boy. No, if I could be a bad boy myself. But bad lawyers get penalties for presenting bad evidence.
Oh, okay, man. So that wasn't it. That was a very detailed thing.
Yeah, that was my bad. Look, I didn't mean anything by it. It's just a coincidence I edited out that scene.
Let's just go ahead and go back. So it wasn't the contract, but that seemed to make him look pretty bad. Oh, maybe the clipboard? The clipboard represents what he was doing with the contracts? This is like the picture of the banana, not the banana kind of deal. The judge would look good in a mohawk. That'd be funny if they ever did like a version of the judge that had a mohawk. That'd be cool. Some weird dimension, huh? Let's try the clipboard next, I guess.
Take that! Huh? What's that you got there? This is the contract you had Miss Wright sign just before the magic show.
Like, I feel like it's funny that I presented that first, and you said it was wrong, but then I present the clipboard, and then you still present that first.
What the fuck, dude? This contract between the first party, Take-Two TV, and the second party, Miss Wright, reads: if, through the fault of the second party, the show must be canceled in part or in full, the second party will pay $3 million as compensation to the first party. $3 million? That's a completely unreasonable sum. I couldn't agree more. And of course, Miss Wright doesn't have that kind of money. Nevertheless, Roger Reedens had her sign this unreasonable contract anyway. Or, more accurately, he conned her into signing it. Conned her? And how did he do that?
That's where the clipboard comes in.
There's a trick to the clipboard that was used by Miss Wright to sign her contract. It houses carbon paper that can secretly copy her signature onto other documents.
Aw, come on now. That's quite a nasty accusation you're slinging my way. For starters, you don't have any proof I had anything to do with that carbon paper stuff. Just because Trucy and her agency can't pay up, that doesn't mean I conned her. But $3 million is totally out of reach for the average person. In any case, this is important new information. Please add it to your testimony, Mr. Reetons. You piece of shit. Where's your proof linking me to that, I tricked out... Wait, what do you call it? Where's your proof linking me to that tricked out clipboard? You don't have any, do you? Do I? Oh, what, you got some proof that I had an ulterior motive for editing that footage?
Let's see what we got. I guess this part, the set piece falling, maybe? Hey, what's up, Ty? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Been a while. What you been up to, dude? You go try the prank playing script because he planned the whole thing falling, the piece falling? I don't know. We'll try it, I guess. Let me do a little save here. Objection! The witness's statement contradicts this piece of evidence, Your Honor. I got that wrong. And just for part of the testimony is inconsistent with that evidence. Yeah, okay. Got it. I'm an idiot. Understood. Maybe this, because it has Trucy's signature on it somehow? Where's your proof linking me to that tricked out clipboard? You don't have any, do you? And then the other thing he says is the... Or what, you got some proof that I had an ulterior motive for editing... motive for editing that footage? I don't know if that's a new statement or not. I know this one should be, though. I feel like this is the one we gotta push it against. Or present against. But what are we presenting? Proof about the tricked out clipboard. The only thing I could think of is this note, other than the other thing. I'll try this. I don't really get how this would fit right here, but who knows? Sometimes the game is weird. Objection! You must be quite the con man if you can fool a magician with a simple trick. It was that, okay. I don't really get that one. It's definitely been a while. I'm doing all right. How are you? I'm doing good, man. Hell yeah. Still big on nature, Ty. I feel like last time I talked to you, you were working... what was it that you were working? You were working in nature, right? I can't remember exactly what you were doing. I can't remember. I don't even know what that's called. That's how ignorant I am to what you were talking about. But let us know. What you doing now? Still out there? Was it like a national park or something? I can't remember. You must be quite the con man if you can fool a magician with a simple trick. But if you think you can con a lawyer, you're very much mistaken. Hey kid, would it kill you to enunciate in front of the camera? You know, like a newscaster. Think of the viewer. I'd like you to take a look at this. I'd like you to take a look at Miss Wright's signature here on this note. Now let's compare that signature to the one here on this contract.
Well, would you look at that? They're exactly the same.
That's right, Your Honor. Not just similar, but exactly the same. Nobody can sign their name in exactly the same way twice, unless it's a copy. Got him. It's a regional property steward for a conservation organization. Gotcha. I think conservation organization was the thing I was trying to remember. A number of sanctuaries throughout the western half of Massachusetts. Nice. Yeah, it was cool. It was a seasonal gig, so I'm just working at a store in the interim. Oh, okay, gotcha. Interviewing for a specialized arborist position on Friday. Oh, cool. Arborist. That sounds cool. It's working with trees and stuff, right? What does an arborist do? Is it like a kind of similar to the conservation stuff, or? These signatures are proof positive that you conned Miss Wright. And they definitely prove your malicious intent. Say, not bad, lawyer guy. Didn't know you had it in you. This is really getting interesting now. It'll get great ratings for sure. Don't try to dodge the issue, Mr. Reedens. The fact is that you bear ill will against my client. So the show footage was definitely edited with malicious intentions. Isn't that right? What a forced argument, defense. All you have really proven is not his ill will towards Miss Wright, but his pecuniary greed? I don't know how to pronounce that one. I looked that up. Feels like it's just like a form of a word that I've heard, but I've never heard it in this form. Pecuniary? Pecuniary? Relating to or consisting of money. Pecuniary. 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 That's a hard one to say, dude. Even when I know how to say it, it's hard. Damn. Trucy, actually, I can't magic my pins to make them sign the same way every time I follow. No, not now, Trucy. Yeah, I can see Trucy doing that. That would be horrible right now. Working not explicitly in conservation, I'll be monitoring the health of administering treatments to trees on commercial and private property. Well, that still sounds pretty cool. I mean, pretty interesting in my opinion. Pesticide application, injection, pruning, etc. Okay, gotcha. That could be pretty cool. Sounds like there's a bit of some maintenance stuff in there. I mean, every job's probably got some boring stuff too, right? But honestly, it sounds very interesting. I'm sure he'll be great at it. All you have really proven is not his ill will towards Miss Wright, but his pecuniary greed. That's right. I just wanted money, baby. Fat stacks of cheddar, that's all. After all, I'd never even crossed paths with Trucy before this magic show. So I'd have absolutely no reason to bear her any ill will, right? He didn't bear any ill will, huh? Fat chance. This guy definitely has some major hate for Trucy. You'll see. I'll dig up the dirt and expose the dark heart behind that sweet smile. I'll prove those grammary magicians are all a bunch of lowlifes. I can't prove it with anything, but the things he said all point to that fact. There must be something between the two of them that gave birth to this grudge. Some sort of connection that not even Trucy is aware of. I think it's coming down to what I said earlier. Your Honor, I'd like to argue that Roger Reedens and Trucy Wright must have crossed paths before. There must be some hidden connection between them. Hidden?
Connection?
What is it now? Just what are you getting at, Mr. Justice? It is futile to even ask, Your Honor. Surely it is just another one of the defense's feckless claims. You don't seem to have a very high opinion of me, but once you hear my argument, you'll wish you'd taken me a whole lot more seriously. Will I really? Very well then. Do proceed.
Did you figure something out, Apollo?
Nope. Not a thing.
What?
That was just some good old-fashioned bluffing, courtesy of Mr. Wright's fine training.
I hope you know what you're doing.
If you're going to make such a bold claim, Mr. Justice, I hope you're ready to elaborate. What is this hidden connection between the defendant and Roger Reitens? Alright, let's save. Alright, he's Trucy's biggest fan. They're dating, or Reitens is a magician too. I mean, obviously it's the magician too thing. We already had a big hint of that earlier. Hey, what's up, Never? How you doing? Doing good, man. Glad to see you back. Thanks for coming by. Definitely more money in that line of work than there is in conservation, though, sadly. Oh, right, yeah. Commercial stuff's probably always going to be that way. It just reminds me of, like, in the film industry, too, like, making narrative movies, which is, like, the glory thing that everybody, you know, every artist would want to do, actually doesn't make as much money as commercials. If you make commercials, like, that's why some of the biggest directors, the richest directors, all have, like, big commercials under their belt, because that's where they got all of their money. Like, the movies, you know, if they, once they get really big, can make them a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but, like, the most money, what I learned in college, was apparently from commercial work. So it's like, always do commercial work is what they told us. Like, don't just shun that. You need to be doing that and your creative work, because that's what's going to fund it. Because, yeah, there's always more money in that, sadly. I hear that, dude. All right, we're going to say Reitens is a magician as well. That sleight of hand trick Mr. Reitens did during the recess earlier.
Filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. Do you want me to get the bailiff?
Huh? Filming? What are you talking about? I don't even have a camera on me. What if Mr. Reitens is a magician too? What if? I believe it's up to the defense to fill in the blanks, not me. Well, if he is, he may have had some contact with Miss Wright somewhere along the way. Your argument is hardly worth responding to. But by all means, please do continue. As a passage in the sacred scriptures of Koranism states, he who gives a sermon to a monkey is himself a monkey. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say to a dimwit, he's gonna get it anyway. But we saw Mr. Reitens perform a magic trick. He made his video camera disappear in the blink of an eye. You're dating faint siren sounds coming. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, I think it would be pretty funny if I were a magician. You must be seeing things. Want me to introduce you to a good eye doctor? If a connection as tenuous as that is all it takes, then every magician in the country could potentially bear ill will towards the accused. I guess you're right. You're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, are you, short stuff? You would do well to cleanse that putrid mind of yours in the holy waters of Mount Piniponi. Poni? 3 days under a frigid waterfall, and even you should rise to the level of a monkey. A numbskull for a numbskull. Well, this numbskull has thick skin, so there.
I think I get what they're driving at. Even if he is a magician, it's not exactly a reason to bear a grudge against Trucy, is it?
Yeah, so something must have happened.
Hold on. I can think of one person. One magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Trucy. Or rather, one magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Troop Gramarye.
Oh?
No way! Is something wrong, Mr. Justice?
Is he just realizing what I said earlier? Am I right?
Your Honor, the defense wishes to submit evidence at this time. I see, and what sort of evidence do you have for us? Evidence that points to the real killer, the one who had a motive to commit this crime. What? And what have you come up with this time, Defense? Trucy Wright is the sole heir to Troop Gramarye and its name. This puts her square in the crosshairs of one particular magician. And this piece of evidence points to that one person with a grudge against Miss Wright.
It's got to be the poster where he says, "Cancelled."
He's been canceled.
Try that.
Take that! And who exactly are you naming, Mr. Justice? 13 years ago, the great Mr. Rias belonged to Troop Gramarye. But then, the troop ousted him, and Mr. Rias vowed to get his revenge on them someday. And what better way to accomplish that than through the ruination of their sole heir?
Ruination. I didn't hear that word very well.
But Mr. Rias is the victim, Mr. Justice. You've named a dead man as your suspect.
But is he really dead?
What do you mean, is he really dead?
If the fact that Mr. Rias is the victim is what's throwing you off, then how about we consider this possibility? What if the man who died on that stage yesterday wasn't Mr. Rias? Nobody's reacting. What the hell?
What? You mean the victim was an imposter?
Not Mr. Rias, then what about the real Mr. Rias?
It would mean the real Mr. Rias is still alive. Oh, he's got the beads out.
That's absurd.
What are we gonna do?
Mr. Justice, who is the real Mr. Rias, if not the victim of this case?
I mean, I feel like we as the audience, we know what's going on, all right? I mean, I said this like an hour ago. It's all coming together now. I finally see the gimmick, the trick to this entire case. This should explain everything, Your Honor. The real killer, the one who hated Troop Gramarye and wanted to sully its name. The magician lurking in the shadows, who set up a fake Mr. Rias in his stead. The real Mr. Rias is... I mean, it's Mr. Reetons, right? Let me save. It's gotta be Roger Reetons. Take that!
But that's the man standing right here.
Yes, yes it is. Roger Reetons is the real Mr. Rias, the man of mystery.
What?
Him?
I like the levitating cloth around the prosecutor. Hell yeah, dude. I think that's pretty cool. He's like religious and stuff too, so I feel like it gives him sort of like, I don't know, a godly air or something. You know, it's pretty cool. Oh, hollow red pepper, your important seeds sprout not but meaningless empty words. You can't possibly have proof to support such an outlandish theory. It's not a bad idea for a soap opera. But not even diehard fans of the genre would stick around past the plot, or past the pilot, sorry. You want proof? Well, I've got proof. I can prove it by proving that the Mr. Rias in yesterday's magic show was a fake. And to do that, I just need to look at this spot on this poster. What, there's his scars? I'm assuming that's over there? Do a little save real quick. Take that? Question mark? go on a limb and say Betty is guilty. Not sure what of, but definitely, yeah, oh yeah, definitely guilty. Betty's definitely got something up for sure.
This is the injury Mr. Rias sustained while practicing a magic trick 13 years ago. However, the video the victim shot of himself shows no trace of that injury. Oh my, you're absolutely right. Now, Mr. Redens, what do you suppose we'd find if we took a look at your right forearm? Is there by chance a nasty 13-year-old scar under that sleeve of yours? Well, Mr. Redens, why don't you roll up your sleeve and let the court have a look? Or are you hiding something else up there? Come on now, I have nothing up my sleeve. I don't need to hide anything up there because I require no tricks or gimmicks. For you see, my magic's the real deal. There it is. Is this what you were hoping to see?
Oh, there it is, the scar.
Man, I caught that way earlier. It's a good thing True Grammar was cheap enough to not redo the poster. It could have ruined the whole case. Yeah, I know it. That's true. It's funny that they just left it that way. I think it's funny that they even decided to add this Rias character like shoehorn him in at the end here.
Oh, there it is, the scar.
Boom! Just as I thought. That's right. I am the forgotten magician, abandoned to the dark understage of history. The great Mr. Rias. This
It's totally
absurd. It is absurd, but this is Ace Attorney. It wouldn't be Ace Attorney if it wasn't absurd. Oh, how ironic, wouldn't you say? That this odious mark carved into me by Troop Grammary would bring me back into the limelight once more. Strange are the karmic threads before me. If the witness is the real Mr. Rias, then who is the victim who perished in the magic show? He was but a fan. I met him on one of my programs several years ago. He said he had become a magician out of the admiration for the great Mr. Rias. In confidence, I told him my true identity and let him take on my mantle. And when did this man take over for you? About 2 years ago. I taught him my tricks and even acted as his producer. And so a mere amateur became a popular magician overnight, courtesy of my magic on the stage we called television. Hope you enjoyed the show. I did not enjoy the show.
Surviving, finding Domm's magic of putting me to sleep with bedtime story. Yeah, hell yeah. I could see that. This would be one of those streams I feel that I would fall asleep to too, so I get it.
You really had us all fooled. Mr. Redens, or should I say, Mr. Rias. In your hatred of Troop Grammary, you killed the victim, Mr. Mystery. And then set up Mrs. Wright, then set up Miss Wright to take the fall, didn't you?
So his name really was Man of Mystery? Like the actual victim's name was Man of Mystery still? Like that's crazy. I'm still not getting over that.
You did all just to tarnish the Grammary name. Ho 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 ho. I have no idea what you're talking about, lad. I set up the prank, that much is true. But it was simply a harmless joke on Trucy, I assure you. Yet she learned of the plan and made use of it to commit murder. That is how strongly the criminal element runs in the blood of these Grammaries. But if it was a secret prank plan that very few people knew about, couldn't you have been the one to use it for murder instead?
Whoa, that's a cool trick.
Yikes! Oh!
his head.
Just kidding.
What the heck was that?
Heed my words, lawyer lad, for I fear your grasp on reality is slipping. I do believe I told you that my magic is real. It employs neither tricks nor gimmicks.
Enough with the ambiguity. Why don't you make your point already?
My alibi is as pristine as ever. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Satmari?
Yes, I suppose that is correct. The witness does have a solid alibi. What? You can be called man of mystery as a government name, I suppose. Not surprised with lawyer calling justice. Yeah, that'd be funny if that was like their version of John Doe, basically. You know, the government just calls him like, oh, we don't know his real name, so let's call him man of mystery. Well, he's a pun. Recall, defense, that at the time of the magic show, Mr. Redens was at Take-Two TV. A fact that many people can easily attest to. That's right, I forgot all about that.
Oh, so what do you think, Your Honor? Would you like me to testify on the matter?
Yes, I think you'd better. Please tell the court more about your alibi.
Very well then. On with the show. Are you watching, Magnifique Gramarye? The time has finally come for my magic to snuff out your precious pedigree. The Gramarye line will be no more.
He's got some cool animations, dude. My perfect alibi.
My perfect alibi.
I was at the TV station at the time of the Penrose performance. I was busy working on another TV program. I could spare no time for the magic show. Do ask if my staff if you doubt my claim. And there it is, a simple and perfect alibi. No tricks, no gimmicks, just the truth.
I mean, how would we know he's telling the truth? Because he's a magician. He totally could have faked a lot of that, right? He had peas, love, and understanding. When I used him in my fanfic, I just named him Penne. Yeah. Yeah, peas, love, and understanding is another. There's like lately they've gotten so hardcore with the puns, dude. Just like Aristotle means too. I feel like was another one of those. Like, oh my god. And then I'll be your guide. Oh man, there's some of them aren't as good as other ones. I mean, they're all fun. Don't get me wrong, and I appreciate them all. But I think the best one was Candace Arm. I think that was probably one of my favorite ones.
Do you understand now, perhaps? I did not grace the theater with my presence until after the incident. So how could I have committed the murder?
His staff did say he was there at the station. So it sure does sound like a rock-solid alibi.
But that can't be right. If Mr. Redens is the killer, he'd have to have been at the theater.
There's got to be a hole somewhere in his story. I assure you, there are no holes on Mr. Rios' stage. No tricks, no gimmicks. True magic doesn't need trapdoors to escape through. Do enjoy my show to the fullest. And my real alibi.
Cross-examination.
I was at the TV station at the time of the Penrose performance. Hold it! Hold it!
But you did come to the theater eventually, isn't that right?
Indeed. Anxious to see how the show was progressing, I made my way to the theater. Let's see. My journey took about 10 minutes by car.
Could he actually have been at the theater during those 10 minutes, killing the victim?
Allow me to stab at reading your mind. Aha! Could I have been at the theater during those 10 minutes, killing the victim? How in the... But no, I took a taxi. The driver can attest to that. Feel free to call the taxi company if the word does not satisfy you. The driver's a big fan of the ratings Raja. I even gave him my card.
He gave the driver his card? That was very clever of him. Almost as if he was trying to create an alibi.
You might as well give up, lad. Questioning real magic is a fool's errand. Besides, you know very well what I was doing at the time of the incident. I was busy working on another TV program. I could spare no time for the magic show. Hold it! What was this other TV show you were working on? My own special project, you see. One moment. Perhaps this is more appropriate. It's a Ratings Raja special production. Yeah, hang loose, baby. It's called Desperation Regeneration.
He switched personas just to say that?
Maybe I should have given him two different voices, but I don't know. Too late now. What's the show about?
Washed-up has-been singers and comedians get together and play musical chairs. The winner of the game is given a second chance at their career.
Taskmaster?
Just kidding. The priceless prize for chums who washed up too early in life. Sounds great, right?
Might I suggest you appear on that show, Mr. Justice? As an ex-lawyer who used to make ridiculous bluffs in court and faded sadly into obscurity. And let the Ratings Raja produce my TV debut? Not in this lifetime.
You have great reactions. Who knows? TV might be your true calling.
Hey, whose side are you on? In any case, I was overseeing production of this program during the Penrose performance. Do ask my staff if you doubt my claim. Hold it!
Hold it!
How do we know those staff members aren't in cahoots with you?
I make it my business to perform solo. My magic has neither need nor want for assistance. After all, one of them could reveal the secrets behind my magic, could they not?
So he doesn't trust anybody, huh? He's the complete opposite of Trucy.
There were many people there in the studio audience who saw the witness as well. Even if he had been able to persuade his own staff to cover for him, he could not have convinced so many complete strangers to do the same.
He really has made a rock-solid alibi for himself.
Yeah, it's almost too good, you know? It's eerie how perfect it is.
Has all been revealed to you now. And there it is, a simple and perfect alibi. No tricks, no gimmicks, just the truth.
Hold it! Hold it!
I've got it.
Do you have a brother? A brother that looks exactly like you, maybe.
Again with the twins business? You think the audience will let you get away with using the same gimmick twice in a row?
At least 3 times, dude. The rule of 3s, you ever heard that? If you do not believe him, Defense, why not investigate for yourself? Though I am sure your efforts will prove to be thoroughly fruitless. Why couldn't I not say that? Thoroughly fruitless.
Yeah, I guess the twins theory is a little far-fetched.
What secrets? I thought this magic was real. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if it's real, then there is no secrets. It's just real, dude. That's true. This way it'll be a Betty in a mask and on stilts. Yeah, somehow it's probably Betty, dude. You're probably right. You're in cahoots, man. Betty did the actual murdering, maybe. She was there. She could have done it, I guess, right?
His alibi really is airtight.
I believe we've heard enough. While I believe the witness does indeed harbor some ill will against the defendant, there is no reason to doubt that he was at the TV station at the time of the incident.
Yes, the facts prove it was impossible for the witness to have been involved with this crime. These last rites for the victim have dragged on long enough. The soul of the victim himself is so bored that it is resting on top of your honor's head.
It is?
The time has come.
Let us punish the sinner and guide the victim's soul to the Twilight Realm.
Apollo, Truce will be thrown in prison and won't be out of a job. But if you catch tasty fishes, will you sell me some for a good price?
I told you I have absolutely zero intention of going off on a tuna boat.
Think, Justice. You have to figure this out. Oh, it's no use. Can't find a single flaw. So what now?
Oh, behold my never-ending magic show. Come for the awe-inspiring showmanship of the great Mr. Rias. And stay for my grand illusion until the end of time.
Wait, is he saying that we're still trapped inside of some sort of illusion of his? That's what professional magicians do. They make their audience see something that isn't really there. In other words, you make us see illusions, right? We call it misdirection. While we keep you busy believing one thing, we're busy making something else happen. What we say is there really isn't, and what we say isn't there actually is. Could it be?
You know what, Mr. Reedens? I guess we have all been spectators to the elaborate illusion you've prepared for us. An illusion that has subtly turned our attention towards something you wanted us to see. What are you going on about, lad?
Have you got something, Apollo?
I just remembered something Trucy said about misdirection. What a magician says is there really isn't, and what they say isn't there actually is. If we've all been taken for a ride by Mr. Reedens' magic, then maybe he's made us see something that wasn't really there. Like his alibi. It doesn't actually exist. Betty, the scar is fake? Oh, yeah, maybe.
It's time to rethink all of my assumptions about this case. What have we been made to believe was there when it actually wasn't? What have we taken to be the absolute facts of this case? If I reevaluate the validity of all these things, then just maybe.
Athena, there's something uncanny about this case.
Okay, what is it?
Reedens' alibi. It's too perfect.
That's true. It's like it's impossible to break, no matter how hard we try.
But maybe that's the trick. Maybe that's exactly what he wants us to think.
I'm not following.
We're not making any headway here because we've been so focused on breaking his alibi.
Oh, I think I get it. You're saying he's using misdirection on us, right?
It's definitely a possibility. Ahem. Would the defense care to share with everyone what it's discussing over there?
Your Honor, we believe that if we were to reconsider a certain assumption,
we may finally arrive at the truth. In fact, I think we'll even finally see who's hiding behind the curtain, so to speak. And what is this certain assumption you're thinking of? This is the one key assumption we've been taking for granted this whole time. Roger Reedens skilled. The culprit was on scene. The culprit was on scene. That somebody had to be there to kill him? The crime scene. Oh, the crime scene. Right? That's something this whole time we've thought, oh, the crime scene's right here, right? I don't know. There's some good choices here. Let me say. I think the culprit was on scene is a good one, but I'm going to try the crime scene first, because that's definitely one that we've been assuming. But I think both of these things we've been assuming. Roger Reedens' guilt, we haven't been assuming that the whole time. These two things I think we have. Let's try and do this one. the actual scene of the crime wasn't the theater, but the TV station. If Mr. Reedens brought the victim's body to the theater after the fact... Foolish lawyer.
Yeah, I didn't know you were gonna argue that, dude. Come on, dude. Oh, a mental break from reality at this rate. Yeah, dude.
Were that true, then what about the body you witnessed during the show? Don't you know it's rude to ask how a trick is done, Prosecutor Sadmati?
And don't you know it's rude to make far-fetched claims, Mr. Justice? I will have your badge for this.
So it must be the culprit was on the scene. Okay, my first instinct. What if the culprit was somewhere other than the theater at the time of the crime? What if there was some way to commit the murder without actually being there? If that were the case, then Mr. Reedens' perfect alibi would become irrelevant.
Oh, is this wrong too? When you think something and they have, they just argue something entirely different and more dumber. Yeah, it's just like in like Fallout and stuff too. They have like, this is the thing you're gonna say, and then you pick it, and then they say something completely different. You're like, wait, what? That's not where I thought that was going. Or any of those games like that.
How could one person stab another to death with a sword without physically being there? Furthermore, we all saw that what appears to be the culprit's shadow in the footage. But couldn't we just as easily assume that the shadow does not belong to the culprit?
Well, if it's not the culprit, then who is it?
I'm not 100% sure yet.
I mean, what if it's like the sword just coming down because it was like on a sandbag because the dragon came down? But I don't know, because I don't think we found a sword just sticking out of him, do we? Oh, did the game audio go? Yeah, the game's not muted. It's just my NDI just fucks up every once in a while. Let me fix it really quick. Thanks for telling me. Capture. Yes, you know. Now it should be back. Thanks for letting me know.
I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track. We've all seen something that looks like this shadowy shape before, Your Honor. During the magic show itself.
Yeah, it was Mr. Hat, right? Flying upward. Really struggled with such when tried to do Paragon play through in Mass Effect. Oh yeah, Mass Effect's a good example. Yeah, a good option is funny and or nice in character come out with the nastiest insult possible. Yeah, that's definitely true with Mass Effect too. That's a good example of that, absolutely. Because they would have things that were just marked really simply, right? It would just have like a simple explanation of what you're choosing, but then, you know, then Commander Shepard says like a whole paragraph, and you're like, whoa, okay, that's what that was. Yeah, that's funny. I forgot about that. It's been a while since I played Mass Effect.
In that case, please point it out to the... wait, if in that case, please point it out in the show footage for us.
Right, the original shadow we're talking about.
This is the thing that looks suspiciously similar to the shadowy figure of the culprit.
We're back in this mode here. Doing a little save-a-rooski. Boom. And present.
Doesn't this shadow resemble the suspicious shadowy figure?
Now that you mention it, it does, doesn't it?
Miss Wright, could you identify this shadow for the court? Let's see. I believe that's Mr. Hat's shadow. It's from when he's being pulled up from the stage to the catwalk overhead by wire. Then could the shadow that's shown later in the footage be Mr. Hat too? No, that's not possible. After Mr. Hat was pulled up to the catwalk, he stayed up there. In other words, the second shadow was from some other figure being pulled up.
Some other figure? I'm afraid you'll need to be more specific than that, Mr. Justice. He's right. We've come this far. Just have to figure it out from the clues I have on hand.
What is the second shadow shown in the footage? Is it the rubber sword, maybe? Can't do profile, so it's definitely one of these objects. And out of all the objects on the screen here, seems like the only one I could think that it would be the sword? Sword stand? I don't know, the sword stand seems like a dumb thing to show, but maybe it's the sword in the stand? Is this representing the sword, maybe? Oh, jeez. This is a fucking show the picture of the bananas moment here. Don't present the banana, present the picture of the banana, of course. The help shadow from Puppet, which became Trucy, still Trucy, guilty. Yeah, right? It's like, that's not really helping. But someone else is having hat. Betty! Yeah, it could be that, maybe, you think maybe it's like the bad guy escaped using like the wire? Like it's pulling the bad guy from like the crime scene because of like when it happens? Because they're trying to say it was the shadow of Trucy like actually stabbing downwards, but now it's something going up. I'm thinking it's either like a piece of evidence or the actual bad guy. I don't know, did I save already? Let's save again. I'm just gonna try the sword stand. I don't think it's actually the sword stand, but we're just gonna try it. Sometimes you just gotta try. The mystery shadow is actually this. How does that have anything to do with a humanoid shadow? How does anything I have in my evidence have to do with a humanoid at all? We'll find out when we shine a light on it from a bunch of different angles. Your Honor, it would appear that Mr. Justice is seeing things that do not exist. Defense, please administer a quick therapy session to your partner.
Who, me? All right.
This is a long you failed. I'm good, really. I'm pretty sure I don't need therapy. For your own mental health, it is best to acknowledge your own mistakes, Mr. Justice. And they really go all out with the, you did a wrong move on this game. This is pretty cool. Go back. What is this? Footage. Maybe I would need to use the footage itself to point that out. Get the video camera after. Yeah. Change this for a body mistake. She told no one about this. Is it like the body itself somehow? Like, did they swap out a body? Because the body has like the hook on, like in his belt. Because like he was supposed to like fly away after he like was like, hey, I'm not dead actually, ha ha ha, fly away. Maybe we'll do the fucking crime photo. Honestly, I'm not sure. Let me look for a hint actually. We've already been going for almost 3 hours. It's crazy, like how this is the second half of this, like half of the, like a 2-part case, and it just takes so long. So I'm glad I stopped when I did. Let's see. I got that. Okay, yep. It just turns out I was right. It's the crime photo. The thing I was about to try was the correct thing. I should have just went with it, dude. Take that! If we consider what was happening on the stage at the time, there was only one answer. The shadow belonged to the fake Mr. Rios. In other words, Mr. Man of Mystery. The victim. Please take a look at the prank plan script. Mr. Mystery was to pretend to be dead and then fly up into the air after that. Isn't that right, Mr. Reedens? Indeed. And what of it? I contend that that's exactly what happened. The victim was wearing a stunt harness around his waist. It was most likely attached to a stunt wire so that he could be pulled into the air. So you're suggesting that after pretending to be dead in the coffin, the victim flew up into the air, just as the prank script says? Exactly. We just couldn't see him go flying up because the dragon was blocking our view. And that last trick, ladies and gentlemen, is the true piece de resistance of the culprit's murderous magic show. Ugh. Oh, I thought he was gonna make his head fall off again.
Don't tell me you've got it all figured out?
Yes, I think so. If we can just look beyond Mr. Reedens' last bit of misdirection, we should finally be able to see the real truth. The victim must have been pulled up to the catwalk, just like Mr. Hat, and hit the cushioning up there with considerable force. Just have to figure out what else happened up there at that time. Are you ready to elaborate, Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready. In that case, please answer me this. Why did the culprit make the victim fly up into the air like that? To falsify an alibi, to murder him, to hide the body. To murder him, I guess. I guess that when the murder happened, like he really wasn't dead when he fell out of the coffin, and then he actually got stabbed after he got pulled up. To hide the body, to falsify an alibi. I really don't feel like it helps the alibi in hiding the body, but he didn't really hide it, right? It's probably to murder him, right? Just why did the culprit have the victim fly up after he appeared in the coffin? And how did the victim actually die when he was only pretending to be dead in the coffin? I don't know exactly how I should have said those. And we can figure out how these two questions relate if the answers should become clear, if we can figure out. Could it be? Mr. Mystery must have thought he was still just a part of the prank when he appeared on stage. He probably didn't suspect a thing as he was being pulled into the air. After Miss Wright was called backstage and just as the set piece fell. But the culprit had already planted the real murder weapon in a cushion in the catwalk. It was probably a knife or blade of some sort.
What? You mean?
Yes, it really was a magical murder. Just as the prank script said, Mr. Mystery was whisked up into the air. And straight into a blade there in the catwalk. And that's how he got stabbed straight in the back. Wow. In other words, this murder was committed remotely through the use of a magic trick. Yes, so devious. Remotely? Using this method, it wouldn't matter where Mr. Reedens was at the time of death. It's like wearing shorts and a cape. That's kind of weird, right? But how exactly does it work, Mr. Justice? Whoa, 3D representation. Just before the murder occurred. The dragon set piece was up in the catwalk. It and Mr. Man of Mystery were connected to each other by a wire at the time. By carrying out the prank plan, Betty made the dragon set piece fall, which caused Mr. Mystery to rocket straight up and into the blade in the cushion. The cushion was high up enough to be hidden from the audience's view. That's why nobody saw the blade.
Oh, and that big gash in Mr. Hat's cape.
The blade must have been set up overhead sometime before the magic show. Mr. Hat must have been slashed by it too when he was pulled up to the cushion. I forgot about that. That's an old detail. Back to Betty. Bam-ba-lam.
I can't believe it. I had no idea. I was told that Trucy would freak out if I made the set piece fall. That's the only reason I did it.
You were used, Betty. Roger Reedens used you.
I thought he was my little puppet to boss around, but it was the other way around.
After the incident occurred, Mr. Reedens arrived at the theater. He got the murder weapon and swapped the rubber sword with the bloodied steel one. That's also when he lowered the victim's body down to the stage.
But how did he have time to do all that?
When the set piece fell, the audience was evacuated from the building. He was able to do all those things after the fact because there was no one around to see. A horrific murder camouflaged by a spectacular magic show. Fantastic. I mean, horrible. Yeah, that's what I mean. That sounds like the kind of murder only a magician could pull off. As long as the show proceeded as it was scripted, Mr. Mystery was doomed to die. That's why it was you, Mr. Reedens, who killed the victim all the way from the TV station. This prank plan, or should I say, murder plan, proves your murderous intent. Oh, I missed what Sheepy said earlier. Oh yeah, that thing I mentioned about Genshin earlier. Definitely took inspiration from this. Has a similar layout when picking clues. Oh, that's cool. That is really cool, man. It really makes me want to play Genshin, dude. Glad you mentioned that. Along with a lot of other parallels. Oh, he's doing his fucking Naruto shit, dude. A Sharingan. Enough. You dim-witted, ignorant, imbilic, putrid red pepper. He can't possibly have a counter-argument to make. Talk about not knowing when to let it go and move on. About to go Super Saiyan, yeah. Bunch of different anime things put together. Do you have a rebuttal or something, Prosecutor Sadmati? No blade of any kind was found in the catwalk, which means you have no evidence to support your theory. But Mr. Reedens retrieved it after the fact. Which still leaves you with no way to prove your wildly fantastic remote murder theory. But without proof, does it not make more sense to believe that the murder was committed there on the stage? That's where the bloodstained sword was found after all. Maybe over in Coleraine, you guys just take that evidence and fucking convict somebody. But not here in California or Japanifornia or whatever. Japanifornia, England. Yeah, Betty ate it, dude. For show. She ate all the evidence.
I just thought I was pranking him.
That is a very good point. As the only person who could have committed the crime there on that stage. Trucy Wright remains the prime suspect. It would appear that what you call truth is little more than a cheap parlor trick. In the end, you have done nothing to prove the accused's innocence. It is time at last to let it go and move on. Are you seeing this magnifique gramarye? My magic is exacting punishment on your granddaughter. The gramarye name is done for. I mean, he just like admitted it right there, right?
Apollo, we need to hit them with a decisive piece of evidence here.
I know. That's just what I was thinking. Mr. Justice, do you or don't you have anything to prove that the witness committed this remote murder you proposed? Of course I do, Your Honor.
This entire incident has carried out exactly according to the script.
Right. So theoretically, there should be no evidence for us to find or use, which means our best bet is to see if something unscripted happened. There's got to be something there's got to be something Reedens couldn't have foreseen. Once I find it, that's how I'll expose his murderous trick. Get ready, Mr. Reedens, because I'm about to reveal the secret to your magic. There are no tricks or gimmicks here, just some good old-fashioned logic. It's time to logic. Edgeworth is here. All right, before we get through this, I actually need to take a little quick restroom break. This seems like a pretty good time to take a little break real quick. Let's see if we can get this done tonight. I disagree. Oh wait, did I miss something? Mystery Mr. Mellow Monk. We find the victim is not the victim, and new motive are different in different means. Silly game. Yeah, I know, it's so funny how it just goes all over the place, dude. All right, I'll be right back, guys, real quick. Just gonna use a quick restroom break, and then we will continue. All right, after these messages.
Punch-Out by Nintendo. 11 world-class contenders. Take them down with your controller, beat them all, and you've got a shot at Tyson's title. But for that, you've got to beat Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power.
Look, it's magic.
It's a special kind of magic. It's Aquafresh's triple protection formula. Nobody else has it. Fights cavities with all the fluoride of the leading paste. Freshens breath with all the freshener, the leading gel. Cleans stained film with gentle, effective cleaners. Concentrated in one complete toothpaste. Mothers prefer Aquafresh.
I like your magic, Mr. Foster.
Triple protection Aquafresh, a complete toothpaste.
Super Mario 1.
Star Wars. It's great in the arcade. Whoa! TIE fighters! Fireballs! Coming right at me! Watch the laser towers. Aim for the tops. Pick in the cameras. Use the force. It's coming too fast. It's way! Wait! My shields are gone! All right! I'm going in!
Oh, some game, huh?
Some game!
In a galaxy of video games, there is only one. Star Wars.
Please stand for the national anthem.
When you want a taste of America, and we got a culinary treat for you. Americanized beef is the way to go. If you take a bite into our ribeye steak, you'll no longer feel like a special snowflake. Americanized beef. Make America taste great again.
Why did I decide to play vintage ads for BRB? I don't know. I thought it was fun. I think I got the idea from somebody. It was like I think I was watching. What's his name? Lawrence. What's his last name? Lawrence. I don't remember his name. Lawrence. I knew his last name. He's from Funhouse. Lawrence from Funhouse. He used to be in Funhouse, but then he just became like a streamer. One of the things he does all the time is he plays like old video game stuff, which I think is kind of interesting. And maybe there was some ads in there too. But he would just play like old footage of like I can't even think of describe like interviews and stuff or whatever, like in his BRB. And I was like, well, that's kind of interesting or whatever. So especially since they're commercials, they don't tend to get flagged at all when I upload it to YouTube or anything. So it seems like a safe thing that is not just like music, I guess. I don't know. You let me know if it's like repetitive or whatever. I haven't added any new ones in a while, but I thought it was kind of more interesting to watch, I guess. Hopefully they're not like too loud or anything. I should check that. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy that. I put my own videos in there too. It's not just vintage ads. My YouTube videos,
get thrown in there as well. So you'll see some of my clip compilations and stuff come up, or some of the stuff I've worked on and stuff. It's really cool. They're so bizarre, yeah, aren't they? Yeah, especially the Omega Mart. The Omega Mart ones are the funniest ones, I think. Omega Mart, too, if you don't know, it's I believe it's in Las Vegas, but it's like an art installation where it's like it's supposed to look like a grocery store, but it's like they just sell really bizarre stuff. So the whole thing's like a joke, and it's supposed to be like a joke on capitalism and stuff like that. And that's why all the Omega Mart stuff is really weird, because it is just like an art piece, and they make commercials and stuff as if they're really selling the stuff, and it's all just for like the joke or whatever. But you can actually go to Omega Mart, and it's a really crazy place to go to, I guess. And I think it's in Las Vegas. I think so. But yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm glad you guys like them. Thanks, Togepi and Hoodie. I appreciate that. All right, here we go. Let's finish this up. We got audio and everything, right? Yeah, we're good. As long as the magic show went as scripted, the murder would happen without fail. Everything in this case was carefully planned so that no evidence would be left behind. Still, one thing happened that definitely wasn't in the plan. What part of the magic show wasn't a part of the show's original script? Okay, Bonnie's mistake, Man of Mystery's death, or the set piece falling. The show wasn't a part of the show's original. I mean, Bonnie's mistake, right? Obviously. Let's save. I say obviously, but let's save, because I've said that before. Bonnie's mistake. Bonnie made a mistake. What an idiot. Bonnie made a mistake during Trucy's escape trick. What mistake did Bonnie make during the magic trick? Her life choices. I like her life choices are one that's hilarious. Mr. Hat's positioning or stage lift preparation? Mr. Hat's positioning. Mr. Hat was placed in the wrong spot. Because Bonnie placed Mr. Hat to the right of the coffin instead of to the left, Trucy had to reappear on the side of the coffin opposite to the one the show's script. But the culprit didn't know that when he first arrived at the theater, which means he was bound to make a slip-up when he tampered with the crime scene. Which part of the culprit's cover-up attempt was affected by Trucy's new position? We'll see. It must have been magic if he accounted for Bonnie's mistake in his plan, right? Yeah, I almost felt like the Bonnie's mistake was not actually going to be a mistake. You know, I felt like that was going to be like some calculated thing, but here we are. You know, let's see. Which part of the culprit's cover-up attempt was affected by her position? Blood in the coffin hole, fingerprints on the coffin, the edited show footage. I guess the blood in the coffin hole? I don't remember which. Let me see. Did we know that? Is that on here? Oops. I thought one of these things talked about the coffin hole. Is there something here? No, it's just about the fingerprints. That's something mentioned the coffin hole. Maybe nothing did. Maybe I'm. Huh. Blood in the coffin hole. It could be the edited show footage, but I feel like the blood in the coffin hole just makes the most sense, just like logically in my head. Alright, we'll save again. Makes sense, have to be on the side of Trucy, right? Yeah, that's exactly, so it would change. That's exactly what I'm thinking. It'd have to know what side Trucy was on, truly, to be able to get that right. So we'll try that one first. Got our save state. The blood was on the wrong side of the coffin too. Thinking Trucy had appeared on the left, the culprit must have put the blood in the left hole. The blood was eventually discovered in the right hole during the police investigation. The killer had originally put blood on the left side. That means he must have tampered with the scene again afterwards to make it line up with the facts. To make the crime scene consistent with the facts, the culprit must have Wiped off fingerprints, swapped the coffin sides, or dropped the set piece. Inconsistent with the facts. He didn't drop the set piece. Swap the coffin sides. Oh, swap the coffin sides because it's made symmetrical so that you can do that. They mentioned that before. That was a small detail that was mentioned like fucking a month ago.
The culprit swapped the coffin sides.
That's right. The left and right panels of the coffin are interchangeable. I remember when they said that, I was like, why does that detail matter? I think I said that in the VOD and everything. Because they don't tell you things in these games, like, for no reason a lot of the time, you know?
The culprit must have switched the two panels to make the bloodstain fit the facts. But the switch might have also given rise to something unnatural. Oh, I remember now. There was something unnatural about the coffin, and it's just the evidence I need.
Which was the fact that the handprints were reversed. Oh my god! This thing sequence is a very beautiful mind. Love it. Yeah, isn't it cool? It's like a really cool way to like end the cases or whatever, to like get that like climax and make it like that the player's involved in this build up. I think it's really cool.
Sorry, Mr. Reedens, but I have some very conclusive proof of your guilt.
Another bluff, is it? There's no way you have anything of the kind. My magic is real.
No, there are tricks and gimmicks to it, just like any other illusion.
What?
After the murder, you switched the left and right panels of the coffin, didn't you? Yeah. And because you did, you left behind something very unnatural for us to find. This proves that Roger Reedens tampered with the crime scene after the murder took place.
We're gonna save anyway. Same state. I'm pretty sure it's this one.
Take that! The fingerprinting results.
What about the fingerprints is unnatural?
Let's take a look at the prints the victim left inside the coffin, shall we? If the victim was facing forward in the coffin, his prints would have looked like this. However, what we found was they were facing the opposite direction. It's quite unnatural for the prints to be facing this way, wouldn't you agree?
Maybe he was doing this.
It is strange, isn't it? But how did they get this way?
They got this way because the culprit thought the magic show had gone according to script. The culprit thought that Mr. Hat would be on the left side of the coffin, and that Miss Wright would also pop up on the left side of the coffin as per the show's script. He then assumed she had thrust the sword into the hole on the left side of the coffin. That's why he put blood on the left hole when he was trying to cover up his crime. But sometime after leaving the bloodstain, the culprit must have realized his mistake. He found out that, due to Bonnie's mistake, Mr. Had was on the right side of the coffin. George, is that what this one is? Is that? And that despite the script, Miss Wright had thrust the sword into the hole on the right. Oh, look at Bonnie's face. Wow! In short, the hole with the blood in it was on the side opposite to the one that Trucy used. To make the blood's location fit the facts, he had to tamper with the evidence yet again. So he tried to cover his tracks by switching the coffin's left and right panels.
Oh, and that's how the fingerprints in the coffin ended up backwards. Because the culprit switched the two side panels around. The prints ended up facing the opposite direction.
Exactly.
But instead of going to all the trouble with the panels, why didn't the culprit just wipe the blood away and redo it on the other side?
I'm afraid that wouldn't have worked, Your Honor. Because a little something called luminol testing.
Ah, right. Luminol. I almost forgot. We barely use it in this game. Luminol can detect trace amounts of blood even if it's been wiped away, right?
That's right. Wiping the blood away would have only served as proof of his meddling. How about it, Mr. Reedens? I did a pretty good job figuring out your trick, didn't I? Trucy Wright could have done the same just as easily. You have no proof that it was this witness who tampered with the evidence. Ah, but I do have proof. What? A person who was in the magic show would never have made the mistake of putting the blood on the wrong side. Least of all, Miss Wright, who surely would have remembered she was on the other side. Oh my, you're absolutely right! Why, you impudent... I'm sure you've realized by now, Prosecutor Satmati, that your claim that Miss Wright is the culprit just doesn't hold up. You and the accused are... Oh. Really? Miss Wright and I? Why, I didn't get to read the whole thing. Because I think you're the one with a ticket there for trying to convict an innocent girl. No! Slow motion. That's, whoa, then he gets beat up by, what, God? Prosecutor Sadmati, are you alright? Dude, we got him. As for the true culprit, he is someone who knew how the show was supposed to go, but didn't actually see it. Someone who had the chance to tamper with the crime scene after the incident. And the only person who fits the bill is you, Roger Reedens. Gramarye! All the secrets to your tricks have been revealed. And with no tricks left, I'm afraid your show has been canceled. Permanently. Sounds epic, dude. Hell yeah. All of my secrets have been revealed, you say? Oh, we get a little bit of... Ooh, look at that. Changing the focal length and the distance. Don't make me laugh, boy. Mine is the true, real magic. There are no secrets to reveal. Behold, ladies and gentlemen, the true power of the great Mr. Reus. Witness my magic far greater than true Gramarye's. Burn. Crumble. Fall to my fury's rage. The great Mr. Reus will bring an end to you all. And now, for the final heir to the Gramarye name, right here, right now, you too shall burn. Huh? No, this isn't right. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh. No, I didn't do anything wrong. No, it's not my fault. I'm not the one to blame. I'm the victim here. What? Oh. Oh. Stop! No! Ah! Curse you, Gramarye! Got him.
That was like the most epic, like, got him transition ever, really. Like, that's replaced the entire transition thing with, like, a huge, like, whole sequence. That was cool.
Curse those Gramaryes.
Still think it was Betty. She's the real mastermind. Oh, yeah, she is. She's so evil, too. Defeated by sensory overload, yeah.
It's all because of them. Even now, they wound me. Curse them all to the abyss!
Do you really hate us that much? You saying that? Oh, Trucy.
Do you really hate us that much? Does your hatred run that deep? Deep enough to kill an innocent man?
You're damn right. You have no idea what humiliations I had to suffer. Your grandfather, Magnifi Gramarye, kicked me out after I got hurt practicing my magic. He said I was too unskilled, that I would mess up on stage. He threw me out of the troupe just because he was worried about his own reputation.
Since I was but a child, it was always my dream to become a great magician. But that Magnifi, he took it all from me.
But that's no excuse. It's no reason to do something so evil. Magic is supposed to make people happy, not be used for means of murder.
What's the deal? I just used what I had available to me, that's all.
I get it now. That attitude towards magic is why my grandfather kicked you out. You don't deserve to call yourself a magician.
Damn, dog. Don't deserve. I don't know about that. Who said that? No, it was him. After all, you were completely taken in by my magic, were you not? If not for that lawyer over there, you would be on your way to prison as we speak.
You're right. I didn't see through your tricks.
You see? So in the end, Troop Gramarye was defeated by the great Mr. Rias. Ho ho ho. You're not fit to lecture me from on high, Trucy Ray. You don't even deserve to call yourself a magician, you naive greenhorn. Take that, Gramarye. You lose.
If anyone needs to learn to let it go and move on, it's this guy.
This court and my prison can both burn in the flames of my creation. Bailiff, take Mr. Reedus away. And bring a fire extinguisher just to be safe. It looks like we've reached the end. I feel as though we've been watching a grand magic show.
It was close. We just barely made it through somehow. Huh? Why does Trucy look so down?
Miss Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm about to announce my verdict. Could I see that wonderful smile of yours? That smile of a true entertainer, as I do.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, this court finds the defendant, Trucy Wright.
Not guilty. Oh, hell yeah. A water bender just to be doubly safe. Yeah, bring that fire bucket, dude. That's all we need, just a bucket of water.
Woo woo! Court is adjourned.
I'd be aching standing this long. Yeah, right? Like they did in court or whatever. Dude, if I was standing this long, I have stood that long and it fucking sucks. That's why I had to sit like an hour ago. April 28th, District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3.
Thank you for everything, Polly. Oh, Trucy, grazie a Dio. Now you can open your show tomorrow, just as planned. Yep, and it's all thanks to you two. Oh, but now that Mr. Rias is gone, I'll need to find somebody to replace him.
Paula's like, not me, not me.
I don't like the way she's looking at me.
Trucy, I'm so sorry about everything.
Hey, what are you apologizing for? Roger Reedus used us. We're victims too. He even made me an accomplice of murder.
But Betty, we have to take some of the blame for this too, you know? And if we didn't know he was planning to kill Mr. Mystery, we did cooperate with him.
It's all my fault, isn't it?
Neither one of you is to blame. The only one in the wrong is the person who used magic to commit murder, Roger Reedus.
She's got a crazy look on her face again.
Don't you think I know that? Say what you want, but don't think for a second that I don't still hate you.
I guess she really does hate me. But Betty, why? You used to be a huge fan of Trucy's.
Hey, shut up! I've always hated her.
Really? But if we hadn't seen Trucy's magic show, we never would have tried to become professional magicians ourselves, right?
Speak for yourself.
But Betty, you still have your autograph.
Just shut up!
Was she acting that way this whole time because she secretly loves Trucy? Wow, Trucy. I never knew that being the best could be so tough.
Come on, Bonnie. We're leaving. We have to get ready for tomorrow's show.
You're really excited about performing with Trucy again, aren't you?
That's not true, so zip it, dummy!
Polly? Do you think I really am a naive greenhorn?
Huh? No way. She's not.
No, Betty's wrong. Send her away. Hoodie wants Betty in prison. Court finding it not guilty and people not cheer and thought confetti. I will be very interested if you're ever found innocent or whatever. That's funny.
Nope, this isn't bad. After all, you were completely taken in by my magic, were you not? If not for that lawyer over there, you would be on your way to prison as we speak.
You're right. I didn't see through your tricks.
You see? So in the end, Troop Gramarye was defeated by the great Mr. Reese. Ho ho ho. You're not fit to lecture me from on high, Trucy Wright. You don't deserve to call yourself a magician, you naive greenhorn.
Like, yeah, we just saw a game. We didn't have to go through it again.
Trucy, don't tell me you're taking what Mr. Reedon said to heart.
Well, maybe a little. I didn't see through his tricks and I let myself be taken away by his magic. I can't trust myself anymore. Maybe he was right to call me a greenhorn.
You shouldn't take stock in his words. He doesn't even know the first thing about you.
Huh?
You're a wonderful Gramarye magician. You should be proud of yourself.
Thank you, Apollo. But what makes you say that?
I know you're a wonderful Gramarye magician because of this.
Would it be the Gramarye notebook, maybe? I'm gonna save it really quick so we don't get this wrong. I'm gonna guess it's the Gramarye notebook. Entertainer always keeps a smile on her face. It's right inside. She always does that, so I assume that's what he's gonna make a connection for. Take that!
My grandfather's notebook.
The Gramarye Creed. A true entertainer always keeps a smile on their face. When you performed your magic trick in court today, you showed the world your dedication to your troop's creed. Even through all the jeering, you kept a smile on your face and won the crowd over. You are everything Magnifi could have hoped for in an heir. You're a great magician, Trucy.
A great magician? Me?
You really are. That's why. You don't have to worry about what Mr. Reedon said.
Oh, Polly, thank you. Still, I couldn't have done it without you. I would have lost my nerve if I had been alone up there. But I was able to keep on smiling because of you.
Me?
I remembered what you said to me in the detention center.
After all, you're sure you swapped the swords, right?
Yes, I remember doing it.
Then I just know it wasn't your fault, Trucy.
But how can you say that? We don't have any proof it wasn't me. I mean, I know you're a great lawyer, Polly, but...
I believe in you, Trucy. And I believe in your skill as a professional magician. But I'm going to prove your innocence. Don't worry. You're going to be fine.
Your words are what kept me going. Apollo. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now I can be everything I was meant to be.
Trucy's real smile is the best. I'm so glad I could help make that happen. Emma?
I'm really sorry, Trucy, for everything. But why? Well, I wasn't able to convince Prosecutor Sadmati what a good person you are. And I had to testify against you, too. You have nothing to apologize for. You were just doing your job. You're too kind. Oh, I don't know about... Huh? Is something wrong, Emma? Oh.
Oh, it's Sadmati, dude. Prosecutor Sadmati? What are you doing here? Detective Sky.
Yes?
I require your forensic expertise in order to close this case. Come, let us go. Wait, Prosecutor Sadmati! The trial is over, Mr. Justice. You and I are strangers once more, with no further need to interact. Strangers? Have you really forgotten all about me?
What?
You've really changed, Nayuta. Telling me to let it go and stuff. What happened to you? Oh, lawyer of impure soul. I have nothing to say of the likes of you. Are you serious, Nayuta? Now, if you'll excuse me. There he goes.
What was that all about, Apollo? How do you know Prosecutor Sadmati?
Let's just say we're old acquaintances. Yeah, because I was just thinking, like, it did make it seem like he knew him for a while, but I was just like, okay, whatever. But okay, they're old acquaintances. Interesting.
Acquaintances? It seems like something more than that.
Yeah, well...
You don't like to talk about your past, do you? Because you always change the subject.
Guess I'll have to talk about it someday. But for now... Come on, let's forget about the past and celebrate Trucy's future.
Sure, if you say so.
Hey, it's Mr. Wright.
Put him on speakerphone, Apollo.
What's up, Mr. Wright?
Apollo! How's Trucy? What happened at the trial? Did you get a not guilty verdict?
Mr. Wright, slow down. Everything's fine.
Hi, Daddy. I'm okay now. She was found not guilty in a very dramatic turnabout. Plus, we saved the office. It was a great victory for Apollo.
Phew! That's a load off my mind. I can't thank you enough, Apollo. Now I know I can trust you to hold down the fort anytime.
Me? Really?
Yes, you. You're a real full-fledged lawyer now in my eyes.
A full-fledged lawyer? Okay, come on, voice switch. I still can't wrap my mind around it.
Thank goodness you were there to take care of everything. And thank you, Apollo.
No need to go that far, boss. Especially not in front of everyone.
Oh, and by the way, I won't be able to make it to tomorrow's show, so I was hoping you could go. You'll do that for me, won't you?
Of course. I wouldn't miss it for the world. He just hangs up. It's like, cool. No see you later or anything. Forbidden Lovers, probably Betty's fault. They had a had a fight. We even saved Charlie the Plant, the real MVP of the Right Anything Agency. Oh hell yeah! I forgot about Charlie the Plant. Oh come on, boys, mod. Full-fledged.
So Daddy asked you to come to tomorrow's show, huh? As my assistant, right?
No. He just asked me to go cheer you on.
Okay, then I'll be sure to save you the best seat in the house, Polly.
The best seat in the house? I really appreciate the thought, but...
Good. Then it's settled.
Hmm? April 29th. Penrose Theater. Stage. I should have known. He's gonna be on stage. There's the best seat in the house, dude. He's the one in the coffin. Oh no! That's awesome. That this is what she meant!
Magical girl Trucy Wright will now perform her greatest illusion yet. There are no tricks or gimmicks here, ladies and gentlemen. This is real magic.
Wait a minute. You're kidding, right? There is a trick or gimmick, right? I'm too young to die.
Now then, Mr. Hat, you know what to do with that sword.
No, wait, stop! No!
And that is how Trucy and Gramarye Land ended on a rousing high note. With a big round of applause and Polly's ear-splitting screams.
What kind of ending is that? That's the ending we get. There we go. It's a good ending. I like that we got that little extra magic show thing. That's pretty cool.
New episode has been added.
Episode 3, The Rite of Turnabout. A dramatic one. Very dramatic. They're always dramatic, aren't they? That's what we love about it. There we go. The Rite of Turnabout. That'll be next time. We'll be starting on that one. Let's go ahead and get our save states done here. There we go. Got my save states done. Well, that'll be the end of the stream for tonight, guys. So thanks everybody for coming to hang out. Appreciate you guys chatting me up and stuff. Yeah, well done, Dom. Thank you, Hoodie. I appreciate that. And yeah, you know, like I said, I don't know when I'll be streaming next, but I'll try to stream this at least once a week. You know, because I want to play it and I want to get through it. But yeah, just look up for the notification. Might be on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, something like that. Something in the middle of the week, probably. So yeah, look out for that. I'll get us all these names in chat. Hoodie, Phantom, Togepiece, Chibi Boy. Thank you guys for being here. And yeah, shall we find someone to raid? It's been a while since I've raided. Here, let's play a little bit of Ace Attorney music in the background a little bit. Let's see, back to Twitch. Let's see, is there anybody else playing this game, maybe? Nope, I'm the only one, of course. Give me. Oh. Auto playing stuff on me. Let's see here. Let's see, we got Maverick. We haven't, I mean, we obviously haven't raided anybody in a long time, but Maverick's on, so let's raid Maverick. Maverick Comic? Let me double check, make sure he's not ending or something like that. Just try to avoid doing something like that. Oh yeah, he looks like he's in the middle of it. He's playing Resident Evil 8 DLC. New third-person mode on his title. Okay, cool. He's playing RE Village. Let's go hang out with Maverick, shall we? Maverick's a good guy. Let me give him a little shout out. Oh shit, I'm always worried I'm gonna spell people's names wrong on Twitch, dude. I'm glad I checked because I did miss an E. So that should give us a clip. Is that from today?
Excuse
that
me?
Looks like his stream like right now. Oh no, he's not playing RE8 there, is he? This almost looked like RE to me.
What the fuck was that?
I knew that was coming. I knew a what the fuck was coming. Alright, let's
No.
start this raid.
Fuck that baby. Fuck whatever that was. No.
Fuck whatever that is. Yeah, I hear that, brother. Alright, guys, thanks again for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who's jumping in on the raid to say hi to a Maverick with me. Let me make sure I'm jumping in on that as well on my side so I can say hello. Alright, guys. Well, I hope to see you next week, if not later this week, for some more gaming and hanging out. But if I don't see you till then, have a good week and a good weekend. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye. Raid is commencing.